Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you. Hey, Bach. Thank you for the information. I would probably check her out soon after. I'm going to try to use a technology that I've been using for quite some time, but never really managed to do it because my computer refuses to work with this technology. Wait, let me set things up a little bit. How do I do that? Right, siphon client, if I'm not mistaken. And I put via do tube over here. Allow transparency. Um, well, I have to speak really loud. Should I? Hold on. Let me take care of that. Let me make her really big. This way, uh, things will light up when I speak, and then when I don't speak, it will not light up. Okay, that is over here. That is over here. That goes over here. Like that. Okay, now we have a really cute bouncing myself. I need to take care of this microphone thing because sometimes it doesn't pick up my voice. Sometimes it does not pick up my voice. It does now. And also, I should probably take care of the effects. I don't think that I like the darkened effects. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, hi everybody. Uh oh, I have a phone call from my job. I will ignore that phone call for now because I am streaming and I can't phone people. I'm going to ignore that phone call for a little bit. Hi, by the way, hello. So, like I said in the title, I need a reason. I need a reason to uh yeah, nerd about D&D. Cause see, the thing is, it's not that I need a reason to nerd about D&D. It's just that if I don't, it's just that I can do that in real life and not like in stream and everything. However, most of the people around me in my life do not play. They are lame and they do not play D&D. Or maybe I should use the darken effects. Maybe I should use the darken effects. So I know that this thing is working or not. Yeah, okay. So yeah, most of the people around me is lame. They don't play D&D. Yeah. So I can't really talk to them without like explaining what the heck D&D is. And most of the time, because they're lame, I'm saying this like I'm mocking them, I'm not. Because they're lame, they don't really care about it. And sometimes they even mock games like that. I just don't want listen, I just want a nerd about the game. You don't have to mock me for liking the game. Yes. There is a part of me that is thinking, should I open some idle games that I can play on stream as I'm speaking about this? Because I could do that. I could just play a phone game and do that. I'll think about it as I'm talking. So yeah, I just need a reason. I just need a place. I just need a space to start nerding about stuff. And also to fill in the noise that is completely silent in here. Like, it would be really nice. Wait, hold on. I have to take care of work stuff too, which I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm streaming right now. I can't take care of too many work stuff. But yeah. But yeah, also, hold on. I'm tired. I I have just finished eating just now and like I'm trying to like finally like get like the what is it called? The energy up for a little bit. Also some changes are gonna be like in the stream for like the next month, maybe the next month, maybe somewhere around September I'll make a few changes because I did have I'm gonna have a new starting soon stream ending be right back screen and song, huh? And I'm gonna release it somewhere around September. I don't know if it's going to be around the beginning. I think it's gonna be around the beginning of September, around there. I don't have the official like I don't have the exact plan yet. But well, I mean, if I'm gonna release a song, you're gonna know about it, right? And yes, they're like gonna be you can listen to it anytime you want. It's always, of course, it's gonna be instrumental as per usual, and everything. But yeah, just like a heads up a little bit about that. Some new stuff, some cool stuff coming up. I finished some of the songs, but they're not done yet because I'm a lazy bum and sometimes refuse to do things even though I know that I need to. But hey, you know, it'll get there eventually. I have a deadline and whenever I have a deadline, things just seem to get better because I don't like going over my own deadline, which is great because before I could like before when I was like in I don't know, high school, even if I'd made my own deadline, I still can't like do things accordingly. Anyway, right, yeah. Also, speaking of September, September is my birthday. Surprise, surprise. September 7th is my birthday. That's like in a 1 month, 1.5 month. It's still pretty long, but I am planning to stream on that day, which is like a different day than I usually stream. It's like Sunday. I don't know what I want to do then, but I do want to stream at that point, just to have fun and spend my birthday streaming. Like I have no friends. I do have friends. We can celebrate in the morning and I can stream at night. It's fine. I'm not I'm not alone, I say, as I stream and need a reason to yap. Anyway, DND, right? DND. So, like I said before, that I've repeated a couple of times, every single time I try to rant, I always like repeat a lot of stuff over and over again. This is normal for me. I need a reason about to rant about DND. Not need a reason. I just want to rant about DND for like a while because the game it's like a thing that I'm currently obsessed with. Like I'm not obsessed as much anymore because like what in like April, May, somewhere around May, I was like incredibly obsessed to the point where I know this is insane, to the point where I actually read the manual. I don't know. From what I've heard, most people don't read the manual. I don't know though. I've only been dabbling in this game for like a few months now. But apparently most people don't read the manual. I haven't finished it, surprise. But I did read it. And to say that I retained basically nothing is an understatement because I don't know. Because before playing my first game, I did read the manual and I was like, I still don't know anything about the game, which is like really a good way of explaining that sometimes you learn better by doing than by reading theory and stuff. However, I did read the manual, but I was like basically super obsessed. My sister recommended Dropout to me because there was DND. And at some point I was like watching Dungeons and Drag Queens, and I don't remember exactly why I wanted to watch that, but that one episode really hooked me into D&D, and then I started binging Fantasy High, which was like the very first Dimension. Is it the very first? I think it is the first Dimension 20 D&D thing campaign, and it was free. So I watched the free one first because I have no money. Um I I thought it was pretty cool. And I learned way more things on how to play D&D than reading the manual, which says a lot about the manual and about myself. But hey, at least I started understanding it. But then I started binging Fantasy High, and the thing with Dimension 20 and like a lot of other creation D&D content is that you are filled with entertainers, especially like the big ones like Dimension 20, Critical Role, and I don't know what else is out there. I only know those two because I only watch those two, and I barely watch everything else. I only binge Dimension 20 because Brennan Lee Mulligan, amazing guy. Basically what happened was, because in Dimension 20 they are all comedians, they're funny, they're great at improv, they're great at what they do, they're great at making people laugh. And my expectation for D&D became so high that when I got into my first game, I was genuinely surprised. Not genuinely surprised. I was like genuinely kind of disappointed. I went into my first game without expectations. Like, I was like, it was more like an inert expectation. Like, I didn't realize that I had one. I kept on saying that I didn't have expectations, but after the ending of the first game, I was like, oh, it turns out that I do have expectations. But like, the reason my perception of D&D became so screwed, because of like Dimension 20, it's like a good thing. They're really good at what they do. They're really funny. And I went in my first game expecting my game to be like that. And hey, I was not like that. Hi Shan, hello. Did you start pranking me and stayed quiet for like what, 16 minutes of the stream just to see me yap, or are you here? Because I remember you doing that the last time I did a yapping stream. But hello Shan. Where was I? Right. So because of freaking Brennan Lee Mulligan and all the other cast of Dimension 20, I had like really high expectations for my own game, which is like a really bad thing because one, I am not a comedian. Two, the rest of my team, the rest of the players are not comedians, and we are not crazy good improv people. So, and also my DM is not Brennan Lee Mulligan. So I was like kind of genuinely disappointed. I wonder. Guess I'll never know. Guess I'll never know. But hey, hello. I want to rant about D&D, and so this is here. Hello, hi Manasuba. It's fine. I'm okay. I'm okay. You are appreciated. Hello. Hey, thank you for following. Oh, what else, Void? Hello. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Where was I? Oh. Hello. Did you know that sound effect surprises me every time? Every single time I stream, that fart sound is probably one of the most popular sound that everyone played, because that surprises me every time. And it's not even because the sound is like insane. Like, it's a normal sound. It's just a normal fart sound. It's just funny. But the thing is, so I don't use headphones when I stream. Goated first activity on stream. I know, farting immediately when you came on the stream is great. But the reason being that I don't wear headphones or earphones when I stream. So the game, usually when I play a game, it just goes from my TV to me, and like every single thing that happens is from my laptop to like me immediately. No headphones, no earphones, nothing. It's all just sound, and like it's all just like speakers. And so when you play that fart sound, when I'm like focusing on, so here's my setting. My computer is on the table and my TV is like on the other table. And it's like in an L shape. And when I play with my PS, I face my TV, right? So I'm not facing my laptop. So I don't know if someone played a sound effect or not. It just comes out from my speaker to like the right side of my ear. And because I had to, because like a lot of ambient sounds, I had to make like the monitor sounds in OBS really loud for me so that I'd be able to hear like following sounds and everything, you know? And because of that, whenever I look at my TV, I'm playing like, I don't know, a random game. I look at it, I'm focusing on the TV and the sound on the TV. Suddenly this really random fart sound comes from my right ear. And I'm like, oh shit. Because randomly, this thing besides me started making fart sounds. And the sound isn't like slowly getting louder. No, it's just immediately. It's like, what the heck? Anyway, I went on a tangent there, as per usual. But I guess that's also the reason why that sound is one of the most popular, because it is infamously always makes me so surprised every single time. It's particularly funny when I play Elden Ring because not funny when I'm facing the computer because I can see you redeeming it and then I can hear the sound, so I'm ready to hear it. But when I'm like looking the other way, I don't see the notification, I don't see the redeem, and it's like funnier. It's particularly funny when I play Elden Ring, obviously, because Elden Ring requires you to be really focused, and then someone decides to go, and then I get surprised. And then I fumble my attacks and die. Yay! Anyway, scammed. I know. I'm facing the computer now. I'm looking at chat constantly. You can't surprise me when I'm looking at chat constantly because I see the redeem first, and then I look, and then I hear the sound. So like, you can't do that to me right now because I'm looking at the screen. But when I'm playing a game that requires me to use my PS, that usually happens, and that's what always happens. I'm just on the streamer. Yeah. I apologize. Let me drink for a bit. I did add a fart reverb, if that's what you want to. Right, I did add a fart reverb and an emergency button. If that is something you'd like to do. But I think, yeah, fart strategy 101. Yeah. I like the fact that I added sound effects, sound redeems, and you guys are playing around with it. I don't know, like that's like one of the reasons why I added the sound redeem, because it's funny to surprise me. It's also funny to say that's what she said after I said some weird stuff. Anyway, yeah. Cool fart sounds. I might add a few more, but I don't know. I don't really know what's like trending right now, and I don't know what chat wants to add. I might like, I don't know. I'll figure something out. Reverb is for rich people. I'm trying to save my fish points. Wait, is reverb like more expensive? I even forgot. Oh, reverb is more expensive. It is 500. Well, it is true. You're saving your fish points. Is it for a cover or VIP? Because those are the two big ones. I think it's for a cover. I think it's the 100,000 one, isn't it? And you're gonna like fart a million times the moment you get to 100,000, right? Isn't that what you said? Right. Oh, wait. Speaking of fish points. So, if one day I make a karaoke, like hypothetically, make a karaoke stream, what song should I like do? Because it's for farting 1,000 times at once. Of course. Yes. Of course, it is for farting 1,000 times, not for using for something else. Of course. Of course, of course. How silly of me. Cause like whenever like I want to do like a karaoke, like a song cover, I have this like strange obsession because I used to be a music producer ish thingy, and I used to be a lot of things actually. And because I can produce my own songs, I have this obsession of like I kind of want to make the instrumental myself. So I gotta prepare for it. I guess I could just like make a karaoke of like what I want to sing. Like it's up to me. But that's also confusing because I don't know what I want to sing. So you see the problem here? It's like I don't know. But you guys like whenever I ask people, it's like, what should I sing? And people are like, up to you. Well, that does not solve the problem. I could totally just find an instrumental somewhere on YouTube or like somewhere on the internet that lets me use it for like a, a karaoke stream and everything, but I kind of want to do things myself because I have a strange obsession, as usual, to do everything myself. They hit me with ads? Wait, ads? Wait, ads? There's ads over here? Right now? There is no notification for ads right now. No longer subbed. I'm poor. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that, friend. I am so sorry to hear that, friend. Well, it's gonna end in like 30 seconds or something, probably, usually. Wow. I didn't know that stuff ads can like come out like not during an ad break. Cause like, as far as right, you are no longer sub. I just realized that. Actually, I'm hard saving to buy an iPad later this year. Hey, that's awesome. Wait, iPad for like for drawing, I suppose. I'm assuming because why else, or maybe for something. Why? What? Maybe I'm not informed enough. But whenever people say I'm going to buy an iPad, I usually assume immediately they're gonna draw, because I don't know what else you would use an iPad for. That sounds really weird when I already have one. When I have one, I have an iPad, but it sounds really weird coming from someone who has like all Apple, a lot of like Apple stuff. And like, what else would you use an iPad for? That's like, technically, it's true. If you already have like a computer, why else would you use an iPad for? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I didn't know that ads can come out not during an ad break. That's very, if you remember, I'm aspiring game dev and I want to try to learn how to draw. Ah, good luck. Is all I can say. Not the game dev part. That's amazing. IDK, why would you remember that? I remember some weird another lore reveal about me. Sometimes I remember the really, really obscure things that most people don't remember, but it's just like really small tidbits of information that is totally not important. I remember stuff that are totally not important. So, you'd never know. I might remember that. You never know. But like that's like the game dev part is awesome. The learn how to draw part is just good luck. So relatable. I know, right? Remembering the most obscure things, the things that are just super useless that you use in like the most useless way. Exactly. Awesome. My brain decides to say that that's a really cool thing to remember. I'm going to remember that. And then like don't remember the rest of the important bits. Anyway, drawing. Right. So for most of my life, all the things that I've done is just like art stuff, you know, music, singing. Music and singing is basically the same thing. It's just music. I've done drawing. What else? I've done writing, right? Scripting, writing. I write all my scripts myself. If I edit everything, I do it myself because one, I went to school for it. If I don't use it, then what the heck did I went to school for? Number two, it's just I've always been an artsy kind of person. Ever since a kid. Ever since a kid, my mom would say that I pick up like musical stuff really quickly. She sings like a song, and I would remember it in like just when I was like a 3-year-old, you know, like she would sing it 10 times, and after 10 times, I would remember it till 3 years later. I don't remember most of it now because it's been 25 years, over 25. Wait, no. So it's over like 22 years, 23 years. So I don't remember it now, but back then I would remember a lot of things. And then I would pick up like a lot of art stuff really quickly. I would pick up a lot of stuff easily actually, but like, you know, most prominent one is music, but the rest just kind of like follows along with it. And I the only I love art. I love my talent and I love what I do. If one day my ability to do one of the art goes away, I would cry. I would literally cry. But the only thing I hate about art is that you have to fucking practice. It's so awful. The process towards like greatness takes a really long time. I have an artsy soul trapped in a logic body. Actually, that's pretty cool, honestly. Rather than having an artsy soul trapped in an artsy body where you have no discipline at all and refuses to practice, which is me, myself, and I. Right? I hate practicing. So, I used to study violin, and I used to be an aspiring violinist thingy person. I studied violin since I was like, what, 9 years old. And I was pretty good at it. I studied until like I was in high school, which means it's like about 17, 18 years old. And then I stopped because I didn't want to practice. The thing that I remember the most about learning the violin is not the playing the violin part. It's not going to concerts and being praised for being super good and playing a violin. I was actually pretty good at that point. Cause you know, talented music, which means my musicality is so much better than what people starting out usually is. And I learn so much faster. My like music logic is like so much faster than a lot of other people. I've always been talented in music and I know that. So it's just like I learned things a lot faster, and I was actually pretty good in violin. I didn't, you know, when people say they want to learn the violin, usually the music teacher starts saying you should learn the piano first so you have the idea of how to play the musical instrument. But I was like, I don't want to learn piano. I want to learn the violin immediately. And then the teacher was like, that's cool, that's fine, but there might be some caveats to like what you play. And I'm like, fine. And my parents are like, it's fine. But when I played, my teacher also like, you know what, you don't actually need to learn the piano, you can just play the violin immediately because you have really good musicality. Can your sister also play some instrument, or is it just you? My sister used to take piano lessons, but then she refused to practice also because she hates it. So I assume that right now she forgot most of what she learned, but she used to be able to play the piano. The only person in this house who can still play a music instrument is me. Both digitally and like physically. I can play the piano kind of a little bit. I'm not used to it, but I can play it. If you ask me to play it right now, well, I don't have a piano here, but I know the logic behind it. But where was I? Right, yeah. So like violin stuff. But you know, when people like start, I'm jealous. Dude, it's not. I'm gonna say like, yeah, okay. Instruments are so cool. Honestly, yeah, it is pretty cool to be able to do what I do, but Did you know how many days it took me to just learn scales? So you know, like the da 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 da, like do re mi fa sol la si do. Like you just gotta learn that over and over again in the violin. And it sounds bad because the first time you learn the violin, just a bit of explanation on how to play the violin. You have the violin and you have to press the strings with your left hand, right? And then you have this thing called the bow. The bow is the thing used to make the violin. What is it in English? The other thing that looks like a sword, you know, the one where children used to play swords with, and then it breaks, and then your mom gets angry because that's expensive. The bow. Wait, let me just I have a friend in Discord who would just start playing the guitar whenever we call. I think he was trying to riz me or something because it's working. Honestly, anyone who can play the drums, they're hot immediately. I can just use my phone for this. Hold on. I'll just use my phone for this. Because my computer likes to hate me if I decide to open it. The violin bow, taking notes. Images. Right. Let me use my phone for this just because my computer hates it if I use it for something else, and I'm opening Vado too, so it's gonna be so much more work taking notes. Hopefully, yes. Let me close Discord also. Quick time. Screen. Movie recording. Not buy a set of drums. Not now. Okay, so here it is. Cancel. Wait, hold on. Shh. No, why are you all opening stuff that I don't want to open? Vertical. QuickTime low. Where OBS is so confusing sometimes. There we go. So you see, this is the violin, and you see here in the violin, there's this other thing, right? In its right, that is the bow. So, and like the first time you play a violin, usually you either one push down too hard, and then it sounds like it sounds super bad, or it sounds like it doesn't sound like anything because you don't push down hard enough. So yeah, playing the violin is incredibly complicated, and to be able to like pull the bow smoothly, it takes a lot of practice. And that took me like 3 months of practicing and getting my own ears hurt and just doing scales and making sure that I'm pressing on the right part. Because if you look at right here, there is no indication of where the notes go. You gotta feel it. You gotta use your feeling, your intuition to know where it is. Like most people, when they learn, their like instructor would have like a tape of some kind and paste it on this black part and tell them like, you push down right here, you push down somewhere, right? My instructor thought that I'm really smart, so they didn't do it for me. So I gotta learn it by myself. And you know, newsflash, every single violin has a different placement. Insane. So it's like slightly different in every single violin. So if I decided to change my violin, I gotta learn where the placement is all over again. It was hell. So yes, playing an instrument is really cool. I agree. But most people forget that the practice behind it is incredibly complicated and such a really long process. So all I can say, if you decide to learn any kind of art whatsoever, is, well, good luck, bro. Good luck. I wish you the best. Not necessarily condescendingly, but just literally like good luck. Because that is the worst part about any art for me. I hate practicing. I would love it if I am suddenly really good at everything that I do. Which which if it's just the basic, that's probably true, but if I start going advanced stuff, that doesn't happen mostly. Which is like also one of the reasons why when I draw, I like to say that I'm really good at the intermediate stuff. I am really bad at basics. Cuz I can draw, but I don't have a good basic. I don't have a good base. So like when you like make a house or something, the design of the house is incredibly beautiful and everything like the house is incredibly gorgeous. But then you look under it and you see the foundation and it's like completely shit. If you look closer, the house just falls apart. That's me drawing. I know stuff. I can draw stuff. I can make something look really good. That's a thing. I can make it look really good. It really isn't. It really isn't. If you look at this background on my screen, the books, I made that. But it's pretty good. That's simple. But if you look closer, it's the brush. I didn't actually draw everything. So yeah. And like I used to do my old model on my own. I had like a cute chibi person on my own. It wasn't this one. I commissioned this guy, another person for this one. This one is incredibly good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you made that on stream, right? Yeah. And also like I was talking while I was drawing, so like, it's mostly like I wasn't focusing on drawing. So yeah, it's incredibly simple. But like when I made my own model because I didn't have money to commission anyone, I made so like when I did that, I I took a drawing, I took like a free anatomy thing and just traced all over it because I am bad with anatomy. And it looks good, but I am just incredibly bad with anatomy. Because, again, I'm really bad with the basics. I wouldn't say I'm like awful with it. I would just say I am not. I'm not. What is it called? The basics are not constant for me. So, like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's incredibly shit. And, that happens, yeah. So, well, good luck to everyone who's going to try out art. All I can say is just make sure that you really like doing it, because the practicing part is incredibly boring and tedious. And it seems like you're doing everything wrong until some point it clicks. And progress doesn't happen overnight. Progress happens over 3 years. But honestly, I've seen like people who like did art every day for a whole year and like actually practice well with like practice effectively. Their results are so much better than mine. If only because they actually practice effectively and I didn't. And I don't like doing it, which is why like I keep art, like doing art, drawing as a hobby more than anything. And music is mostly like my main like job thing that I'm okay with making it a job, because I don't mind doing music every day even though I get bored with it. I don't mind it because it's easier for me, and drawing is just like the heck. It's just again like why I have an obsession with having to do every single music of my own on my own. It's not a great thing. It's a thing that I do though. So yay, I guess. It's not great. You're allowed to be able to do music and then make other stuff on your and like commission someone else to do stuff for you. It's just a thing that I have not made peace with. Yeah. Hold on, let me drink. Okay. Something's wrong with my stomach today. I keep on burping. Oh, which we're going back to the music stuff. In like maybe September, some things are gonna I'm gonna like some things are gonna change on the stream, and I am going to change the stream starting, be right back, and stream ending songs. You've heard it. You've heard the song over and over again for like about 6 months at this point, I think. The song that is like in the starting screen and the ending screen. I'm gonna change it soon, in like a month. I'm working on like 3 different songs, and those songs I am going to release them as like an actual album that you guys can listen to anytime you guys want. So like an actual song release, not just like for stream. It's like actually releasing it. And I actually have experience with this, so I know how to do these things, which is really cool. The only thing I need to know is how to make them royalty free so you guys can use them for your stuff, if you guys want to. So yeah, like if you guys want to use it for like private projects, I'm always going to allow that. Commercial purposes, or like we can talk about it, just because like, yeah, you know what I mean, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? But anything for like personal projects, personal things, you don't even have to ask me. You can just use it anytime you want. Wait, do I have a sneak peek of that? Do I? Nah. Nah, you guys can hear it for the first time on my stream, which I think I'm gonna release it on my birthday, which is September 7th, which is in like 1.5 months-ish. Kinda. And I'm also gonna stream that day. Birthday stream. As per usual. Which also marks, I think, around 1 year since I started streaming. Wait, that's insane. Hold on. I actually start streaming around September 7th. Hell yeah. Hold on. Did I actually start streaming around September 7th? That's insane. Oh, no. I didn't stream at September 7th. I started streaming at September 10th. Holy shit. Okay, that was like the first stream. I remember that my very first stream was incredibly scuffed though, because I didn't know that Twitch was so much heavier than YouTube. Right, my actual first stream was in another YouTube channel that I had, and it was on YouTube, and I streamed like making a song. But then like I liked streaming so much that the next week I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do my Twitch VTuber account right now, which is like September 10th. But that week I couldn't stream anything. The bitrate was like literally PowerPoint, and I can't do anything because I did not realize that streaming on Twitch was so much heavier than streaming on YouTube, and I was like really sad that I couldn't. But then I tested everything out, and the next week, which is like September 17th, was my first official, I would say, my first official stream. That's insane. It was September. That's incredibly poetic, though. I'm gonna, yeah, on my birthday, I am going to celebrate my 1 year stream anniversary. That is incredibly poetic. And also kind of insane. Anyway, it's a Sunday. I'm gonna stream that day because birthday stream and also 1 year anniversary kinda. It's like a few days before my 1 year anniversary, but hey, we can still celebrate it that day, right? It's been a year. Wow. It's been a year. This feels incredibly, like, it's suddenly incredibly nostalgic for no reason at all. It is a year. Well, a year out of like, I don't know, 20. I like doing this. This is fun. People have to listen to me yap. People have to listen to what I say, and they can't say anything about it because you don't control me. I control myself. Of course I do. I'm not a robot. What am I talking about? Yes, of course we can just change the history. No, of course, nobody's gonna know. We can just pretend that I started streaming at September 7th, which is my birthday. Let's go. We can pretend nobody's gonna know because nobody has the proof. I deleted the bots because it's a PowerPoint and I have no idea what I'm talking about at that time. I remember playing Genshin's event and then everything was like really bad and it was just really awful. And I can't believe that during that time, some people tuned in. I remember looking back at like the stream, the streaming summary, and it was like, wait, some people actually tuned into my stream? That's insane. Nobody went anything in chat though. Dang, I want to watch that. Do I have the recording? I don't have the files right now, but I might have the recording of the VOD of it. It's funny. It's funny. I mean, if you want to watch like my first official stream, which is like September, like the third week I streamed, which is like what, September, not 17th, because I know the 17th one I didn't like upload for some reason. Right, September 24th, my first official stream was a collab with other people, and it's in Indonesian. I know, right? Insane. My second official stream was a collab with someone else. And I didn't know how that came out. It was just like me, some random person came into my chat and went like, do you want to collab with one of my talents? And I'm like, sure. Why not? Why not? And it happened. And then now I'm here. So yay. I am right here. So awesome, I guess. Cool. Yeah, so like my experiences in streaming is actually pretty insane. And even then during that time, because I didn't have a lot of time and didn't have a lot of resources, I couldn't stream for more than a week, once a week. And even some weeks I couldn't stream because I just didn't have the time to. I didn't have the time. I did not make the time to. We didn't have enough Wi-Fi, so I needed to stream when it was work hours, when nobody was around the complex and couldn't use most of their internet, and like when my dad was also on working because I had to use his internet and everything. So like it was like a lot of stuff. But I think those were really genuinely the times when I learned to be a lot more confident in like talking behind the mic, because if I look back, I can't really show it because again, my computer refuses to work whenever I open something else as I'm streaming. Another ad. Yeah. Listen, I have to do that because Twitch made me. You are gonna be rich from the ad money. Okay, I'll wait until the ad ends and I'll hydrate. Hold on. It's also insanely a pretty long ad too. It's like 1.5 minutes. Listen, Twitch forces me to do this, okay? It's minimum 3 minutes of ads per hour. For real, I come just a bro. No. Honestly, yeah, I hate that I have to do this, but I understand why. It's 11 seconds. I'm gonna do a countdown. 9, 8, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ad break ended. Your community is back. Hello, back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. The ad has ended. Hi, Thabs. Hello, by the way. By the way, if you guys want to know, yeah, sure, you hate. No, dude, seriously, did you know that every single stream I have never went over $1 of ad revenue? Not a single time I have went over $1 of ad revenue. It is 0 point something dollars every single time I stream. And usually it's 0.04. I don't get a lot from the ad revenue, guys. It's not a lot. And it might be because I don't have like a lot of viewers yet. You know, it's usually like 6 people. It's like not a lot of like people watching the ad. And like it depends on like what ad you get. And like, you know, like Some ads give more, some ads doesn't give more. It depends. A lot of things depends. So I don't actually get a lot. I don't actually get a lot. I get like what, 5% or something percent, or like 10% from the whole revenue. So yeah, most of the ad revenue goes to Twitch. That's why Twitch forces me to have a minimum of 3-minute ads per hour. Per hour, 3-minute ads. And I didn't want to do that. So every single time I start my stream, I would always run the ad immediately as the song is starting. And then I get like a 40-minute before the ads came out again. That's like, I hate it. I don't like it. Because, you know, when I watch Twitch streams, I also don't like it when an ad comes out. So yeah, I totally get it. But you know what? It's one of the things that's smart. Exactly. So like whenever I go out to like have a break, I try to run the ad again. When like I end the stream and like it's on the start, it's like the stream ending thing, and like it's like run it again. Is there a limit to how much you can play ads? I don't think there is a limit per se. I think there is a cooldown because the ad just came around just now and I can't click the button to run the ad immediately. But like I said, again, I can pre-run the ad and then I would have a longer time frame on not running the ad again. So I usually do that whenever like I open the stream. So, you know, everyone's waiting for me to talk something. I run an ad, does not disturb the stream. I get 40 minutes of no ads in the beginning of the stream. Everyone wins. It's just like I'm trying to beat the system right here. Let's do an entire ad stream. We can make Faye rich. I mean, sure. If you're willing to do that, sure. I can also, yeah. It's like a lot of things. So yeah, I what I wanted to do initially was like just make 3 minute per hour, but that's way too long for like a whole hour of like doing stuff. So I decided to like 1.5 minute per 30 minutes. I'd actually stick around for that and see how much is earned if that isn't a problem. You know what? Maybe that's a good wait, stream idea. Only ad stream, okay? Only ads stream. Only ads stream. To know how much revenue I get from a whole 3 hours of starting a 1 minute and 30, like a 3-minute ad. It's like, it has a cooldown, of course. But as soon as it's available, I'm gonna click on things again. Like, I'm gonna click on everything again. For science, of course. For science. Everything is for science. I was talking about something before the ad stuff. I was talking about something about my first stream experience. Right. I was talking about how streaming to like literally 0 viewers. I wouldn't say 0 viewers, like 1 or 2 people who is like extremely silent taught me how to be a lot more confident behind the mic. Because as much as I was, during that time I was also like learning on making videos. So being a lot more confident in like just talking to practically no one. In front of me is just a mic and a laptop screen. Basically, I'm talking to no one. But just like learning on how to do that and like just don't care that no one's answering what I'm saying and just continue on doing whatever it is that I'm doing, continuing on like doing the silly voices that I like to give characters that don't have a voice in the game, like continuing on doing that. And I'm actually pretty happy that I didn't have a lot of viewers back then because it was incredibly embarrassing at that time. We are none. We are no one. Yeah. Basically, it was during that time. It was also incredibly fun whenever like it was silent for the first hour of the stream and suddenly someone pops up and went, "Hi, your stream is really fun." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you. I want to cry." You're so appreciated, and I feel really happy to have someone here. And I remember also this one time whenever I look back on like my old streams, when I used to stream only once a week and I couldn't do more of that, I used to be really soft. Like I used to talk really softly because I think I've reiterated this enough times for people who are constant in my streams to know that I stream on my other house, which is mostly abandoned and only used whenever I streamed. But back then, now I feel bad for trolling for the first 20 minutes. Listen, I am used to it by now. I am immune. I have been doing that for like 6 months at this no. I've been doing this for like 9 months at this point. It's normal. It is normal for me. I am okay with it. I was trained to do that. But like yeah, I stream in this like abandoned house that is usually abandoned until I stream. And then but during that time before I stream in this place, I used to stream on my room on a room in my actual house because this abandoned house has been abandoned for too long and we need to like there a lot of weasel incidents happens in this house, so it was kind of insane. So what happened yesterday was not abnormal for me. It was the fifth time it happened. Wait, no, the fourth time it happened, but the fifth and sixth weasel we found. No, it was no. Actually, it was the fifth time it happened. Whatever. Weasel problems happens like 6 months for like throughout like last year. And because I was in our house, I could not shout too loud or I would bother my mom and my sister working. So I would like speak really close to the mic and I would speak like this. This is how I usually speak and like this is how I usually stream and I'd be like, I don't know what's going on. What is this puzzle about? So I'm really, really happy today because I just learned that I can't do this. This is funny. It I sounded so timid. And now I have to like put the mic so much further away from my mouth because I shout everything. And I don't actually know why. I think it's because now the room is so much bigger and because like, no one's in this house, no one's gonna get bothered if I shout like super loud and start saying fuck. No one's gonna get bothered by it. I think I just went whatever and started shouting to the mic. If you look back on I have a VOD channel. I use that VOD channel mostly to archive my old streams and look back in nostalgia and laugh at myself for being so timid back then. And if I look back on my streams on the early days, it was like, who are you? Why do you sound so nice? Why do you sound like someone sane? Because now I don't sound like someone sane. Now I sound like someone insane. It just happens. Oh gosh. Also, yeah, I think I remember that. So now, like, you guys have seen me do Ace Attorney. I need to go watch Timid May. Truly a cursed moment knowing the cockroach moment and how free your voice range can be. No, yeah. I shout a lot. Right. There were 2 cockroach moments. One with my sister and one when my sister was not here. When like early, right? Yeah, you were there when I was in the cockroach moment. The cockroach. Yeah, this house is now mostly free of cockroach because I clean it up every single time because I don't want cockroaches to come around this house whenever I'm streaming. That's like insane. Like, why would I do that? Because like back then it was not as well taken care of as right now. So that happened, but now it doesn't happen. But I remember that cockroach moment. It was really funny. Have I made a video about that? I don't think I have. I think I did because it was my old setup. It was my old scenes and everything, and I still used my phone to stream. It was insane though. because I remember that I did sound pretty timid. I did not shout as much as I do now. Yeah, my voice was not as loud. It was not as loud. It was, it was insane. Phone to stream? Yeah, I didn't have a PS last year. So last year when I was streaming once a week, I used to use my phone to play Honkai Impact, Genshin Impact, and every other games that I can play, like a lot of Hoyoverse games, to stream because once more the idea once more I was how do I say this nicely? Like not nicely, like how do I say this properly? The idea is in my head. I can't get the words out properly. Uh so because the concept of like making content is use whatever you have and think about shit later. At least that is what I learned from my experience. Um, I didn't have a PS. I bought a PS last December. So before that, I stream a game with my phone. So not in my phone. I still use my laptop to stream, but the games are played in my phone. So mobile games, basically. I It was pretty hell because every time I would be scared that my phone would burst because it became so hot for like running the game. And then I was like so afraid of my battery getting really bad. But that was the only thing I had to stream a game because I wanted a reason to play a game and then like get money. I wanted gaming to be my job, basically. And this is one of the ways, and I'm thoroughly enjoying what I'm doing. Absolutely great. So yeah. Yeah, speaking of that, actually, using whatever you have to stream. I was Wild Rift must have been crazy experience. Yeah, thankful. I don't think I've ever streamed Wild Rift though. Just because there definitely was one time I streamed Mobile Legends because that's an easy game and I know that I'm good at that game, but Wild Rift is a whole other level of like stress that like I experience. It's like it's a game that I play whenever I want to like test my patience because that game taught me how to be patient with not just myself but everyone else around me. Yeah, both that and a lot of other mobile games. But yeah, Wild Rift, I still. Oh my god, there definitely is something wrong with my stomach today. I mean, makes sense. I ate way too late today, so hey, stomach is protesting, but I'm fine. Uh, I still play the game even till today. I still genuinely enjoy playing the strategy of how to play League, of how to play the 5v5 mobile game. Hi, it's hello, welcome, welcome back. I'm talking about playing MOBA games, the toxic gaming community. Um, I enjoy the game. I enjoy the mechanics of the game. And I enjoy thinking and getting good at the game. The problem is the insanity of how toxic everyone is in that game and how utterly useless everyone is in the game. And you see, I don't like it when I'm frustrated on stream. Not necessarily because like I don't like you guys seeing my bad side. It's not necessarily that. It's just that when the mood on stream gets really bad, this is like not just like streaming thing. It's like everywhere I go. If I decide to like speak publicly and I consider streaming quote unquote publicly because I'm talking to people even though I can't see them. But I can't see you guys like you guys' faces watching me right now. I can't see it, but I consider it public speaking because I am speaking to the public. I don't like it when my mood is bad because people can sense it. Like no matter like I don't know And like I'm an incredibly expressive person. If like maybe it's a scripted kind of like public speaking, maybe you can't see it as much. But if it's like streaming where it's like there is no script, you just gotta do it. If I get frustrated and if my mood is really bad, it's not, I don't like it because then you can feel it and then the stream becomes incredibly painful and it's like not kind of like funny angry anymore. It's just like, okay, this feels really bad to watch, kind of like stream, and that I don't like that. That's why like I avoid games like Wild Rift, League of Legends, streaming those kinds of games, just because I get frustrated and I can actually like get angry at someone. I don't like that. Warframe is like the least toxic multiplayer game I've ever played because most players focus on just making their characters look good. Wait, that's awesome though. I guess maybe League needs to do that so that you can like I don't know, customize your characters so that people will focus on the art and like the what is it called, the visuals of your characters rather than the gameplay. Because honestly, like I said again, I like the mechanics of League. It is complicated enough that it's challenging to play, but it is also somehow simple enough that it's a low threshold. I wouldn't say a low threshold, but like a lot of people can learn to play the game. So like I don't know, it's a cool game and I like it. And like it's a strategy game. Like guys, come on. It's like an actual war strategy in a way. Cuz especially like if you don't play the lane that is like just farming minions, farming creep, push turret, farming creep, push turret. Like if you play a champion and a lane that it requires you to roam around the map, that is so much fun. Don't say that Faye, you might lead people to pick up League. Honestly, if you have a good mentality in life, pick up League. League is an incredibly fun game if you like have a good mentality with it. Because when I was like super obsessed with being good at Wild Rift or Mobile League, I was watching this one coach on YouTube, and he said that League is if you want to improve on League, you have to improve your mentality. You can't get like one bad play doesn't mean that's the end of the world. If you lose one game, you can just improve on the next game and the next game and next game, and like you got to see everything with a good prospect. You can't just get tilted because of a bad play or because someone else made a bad play that sacrifices your play. And that's like, wait, that does make sense. And when I see the game in that kind of way, it's like that's it made my games so much better because it turns from like a competitive game, like a 1 versus 9 people because me and my teammates are fighting to become who's the MVP, into like a progress game where if I learn, I can be better at the game. And like that was honestly that like those moments, that period in my life was actually one of the moments where me as a person, my mentality and like my character began also growing because somehow because you know it's a game that I'm obsessed with in my life, I started applying those things. It became like less of a competitive game between me and my coworkers, me and my sister, me and like literally everyone around me, into everything, into like a progress game where I will get better at life if I just focus on progress, that every failure is just a way to get better, basically. And that's like, wait, if I actually do this with this kind of mentality, I actually improve in life. Playing with friends is so chill. Even if we lose, it's fun. Exactly. Like, it's just a game. It's a cool game. It's a really serious game. But if you play it chill, it's really fun. No need to be so serious about it. It's just a freaking game, guys. Come on. It's a hard game. It's a really fun game. And some people actually care about it. But it's just a game. Ultimately, everything is just a game. And yeah, you know, like, if you can I started like just muting everyone who is toxic. and just focused on the game. And the moment, it's kind of like, tuning out everyone who's toxic in your life and just like, learn to play the game better. And during that time when I was like focusing on getting better at Wild Rift or in League Mobile, I got better in life. Surprisingly. Ta-da. I become this kind of person who is incredibly chill and just doesn't get angry much because League of Legends. That is an insane thing to say, honestly. But yeah, if you guys are wondering, I like to play mid lane that kills a lot of people and become really cool. League is a life lesson is mind-boggling. Listen, think about it. Think about it. Like, dealing with toxic people on the game. You can deal with it the same way as you deal with it in life. Like failure is apparent to success. Same thing with life. It's like literally. I play support. I'm cooked. No, yeah. Honestly, my second role is in the dragon lane because for freaking hell, I cannot play the jungler. I don't know what to do every time I jungle. I cannot play the Baron lane because every time I go to Baron, I forget that my teammates exist and I focus on killing the turret. So I play the bottom lane. Not jungler, those guys are fried. So yeah, usually, and dragon lane, like a dragon lane's marksmen are really, really popular. So my secondary role, besides the mid laner, is actually the support. PvP multiplayer games are best played with friends or just muting everyone else. Randoms are just too unpredictable. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. It is one of the hardest things when I play solo queue. But I actually like playing solo queue. Because my experiences with playing PvP multiplayer with friends was that either I get dunked on by my friends or my friends dunked on me. And being dunked on is not fun. Dunking on other people is also not fun. And I know it's probably just because me and my friends were way too young to understand maturity and just having fun. Because, when I played multiplayer, my friends and we were in high school. We were young. We were stupid. But experiences kind of taught me that, and I started learning that, solo queue is so much better for growth because you don't have other people to blame, and you don't have people to blame. Back in my days, I used to be young and stupid, and we used to mock other people for not being good at the game. But yeah, honestly, people who can play PvP multiplayer and have a positive outlook in life are like some of the best people I've met. just because that means, well, I don't know actually. Just because it's incredibly hard. Because I know that. But yeah, I remember playing my first PvP multiplayer was definitely Mobile Legends. It's literally the most famous MOBA PvP multiplayer game in Indonesia. Obviously, I would play the game. Yeah. Obviously, I'd play the game. I'd meet weird toxic people who just likes to talk about dunking on people. And yeah, they have seen the evil and toxicity and choose being the good guy. Those people are legends. Exactly. It's called League of Legends for not for nothing, right? Oh gosh. Yeah, I used to really, really enjoy that. Actually, you know what? My early days, real life lore about me. Finally, you guys get this really cool tidbits of moments of lore. I remember community service not being as toxic and as competitive once. Played the original Call of Duty with randoms and it was chill. I know. It was like I didn't play Call of Duty, but I heard that I don't I don't know when exactly it got really competitive, but I remember like playing the early Mobile Legends days, and it was really chill most of the time. If you're bad, well, you're just bad. It's like not the end of the world if you're bad at the game. But anyway, so when I first played ML Mobile Legends, I was actually playing it with my ex during that time. So I introduced the game to my ex, and then he became obsessed with it. We were both back in high school. We were very young and very stupid. And my ex was an incredibly toxic person. It was like a really old relationship, and well, thankfully, he's now my ex because he's an incredibly toxic person. He likes to bully me for no reason, and I don't know why. I think it's because he makes him feel better that way. But hey, you know what? I'm over him. It's fine. But back then, one of my first experiences with MOBA games is that. And he would play as a tanker and also the assassin. The thing with assassins is that they're cool because they get a lot of kills, right? And then usually when you get a lot of kills, you get MVP and everything, right? And I would usually, as per usually, I would play mage. So like mid laners also, but back then mages are like a different class than assassins. It's a weird kind of like meta back then. But I would play mage, and then I would be like the role of quote unquote support back then. Oh, this is a fun story. Ads can wait for 5 minutes. Uh, but because he was good at the game, was he good at the game though, or was I better at the game? I can't exactly remember, but I consider myself pretty good at the game because I understand my heroes and I understand my characters. I every time I play a character, I would always be obsessed with it. I would like just like play them all the time until I'm really good with it. That's what I did with like Wild Rift also. But I would do that. So like I would actually be really good at like one or two champions, like in there it's heroes. I would be really good at them. I would have like 200 games, 300, 400 games with them and have like a 50% win rate, but I've played like 500 games with them. I'm really good at this champion, right? No, actually in Mobile Legends it's heroes. I'm really good at that hero, right? But I don't, yeah, so I don't exactly remember. Wait, why is the ad still here? Well, fuck. Well, anyway, I remember that. I don't exactly remember if I was the good one and he was the bad one and he's being toxic towards me, or he's actually good. But basically, every single time we play, he would mock me for not getting a lot of kills. And it was really bad. So I would always follow what he said was a good thing. And because he was a tanker, he was the initiator, he would call wars and everything. Like, he would call up all that team plays and stuff, and then I would follow. And I can't really remember every case by case scenario, but I do remember that sometimes I would say that I think I would say that I don't think this is a good point to start a war, but he wouldn't listen to me and we die, and he was like, you should have killed more, you should have done this, you should have done that and everything, blah 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 blah, and he would blame me a lot. And then he would, bully me into like I don't really remember exactly what happened, but basically he would bully me in that game. He would mock me for not being able to do a hero, even though I was learning the hero and everything along those lines. So I stopped playing. And you know what? A few years later, after I've broken up with him, after like I've grown up, I started playing the game again. And you know what happened? I was actually really good. And it made me think that all those times that I was playing really bad, that all those times he said you were shit at the game and everything, All those times. It made me think, was I really the bad one, or was he the bad one and he was toxic about it? So, yeah, it was incredibly funny because, in Mobile Legends, you get up to Epic, and then Legend means you're like really, really good, and then like you get Mythic, right? And I don't really remember what else. I think I went up to Legend on my own, solo queue, without anyone's help. So it's like, who's the idiot now kind of idea. But hey, that's all in the past. I'm good with playing solo queue now. I'm like, great. Nice self-confidence is a true showing of skill. I know that, right? Like I didn't even like play differently. And then when I like started playing again, the meta was like completely different. I had no freaking idea what's like going on. Why are there different monsters? Why is my lane suddenly different? What the heck? Why is the build like why is the items all completely different from what I'm usually playing? Like granted, it was like 3 years after I stopped playing, so like a lot of things changed, but like why is everything different? But then like even though everything was different, I can still play the game really well. So, who was the idiot again back then? Like, that was my thought of like, who was the idiot again back then? Was it me or him? Actually, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm good at the game, and it's great. It's great, and that kind of gave me the self-confidence of like, you know what? I can play this game. I can just learn. If I can't play, I can just learn. I'll be better in the game. And now I'm pretty good, actually. Showing off. Now I'm pretty good. And yeah. And at the very least, now I'm not dependent on anyone to call me what I should do in the game. Which is great. Like I said again, League is a really great lesson to life. Which sounds incredibly insane out of context. But if you think about it, it really does. Anyway, the stream title is DND, but I'm talking about literally everything else but DND, which is funny, but also it made sense because I always go on rants and tangents, and I never go back to the actual one. What I wanted, did you know that I made up a whole freaking list of like the things that I needed to rant about just so that I don't lose topics to talk about today. It's been 1.5 hours. I haven't talked about any of it, which is great. This always happens in any of my just chatting streams. I never talk about like the actual things. Oh gosh, let me take a breather for a sec. Talking is hard, and I need to drink again. Oh, wait, actually, now that I think about it, like just now, like when I think about it for like a split second, I do remember that when I was starting streaming, like a whole 6 months of last year, I remember being incredibly timid also for doing like character voices. So like, you've seen Ace Attorney, right? You've seen like sometimes I like to make really fun voices for like people just because it's a fun thing to do. Because it's like, I don't know, it's just really fun to make really weird voices. And I used to do that on my own in my room where nobody can see me being weird. And streaming was like one of the spaces where I thought, well, I can be weird and nobody will care because nobody can see my face. Nobody can see my face. Nobody knows. It's completely fine. I am hidden behind the anonymity of this PNG tuber model thing. This person that is a dragon, right? And I remembered that it was surprisingly really embarrassing to do that. I remember it is surprisingly really, really embarrassing to talk into the mic and like be aware that you're streaming and that some people are listening and wanting to be weird because because basically it's not necessarily being weird, it's just being like myself, not like trying to save face and like trying to be what is it called, trying to be like elegant and sophisticated, even though I'm not. I am this person, I am this person who is scuffed and has no over almost a year I still have no idea how to stream properly. Sometimes the internet gets cuts off and my stream stops and I would have no idea that it did. I would have no, like, I would still have scuff almost a year into the stream. Like, I am this person. And I don't want to, like, pretend that I am, like, a really sophisticated, really put together kind of person. Because I'm not. But it is surprisingly really, really hard and really, really embarrassing just to show that you were a scuffed person. Even though you know you are hidden behind anonymity and you are allowed to be anyone you want, you are allowed to like be yourself and people will like it. Well, probably, well, if you're a really awful person, I don't think anyone will like you, but basically people will not judge you for it. Well, maybe people will, but you won't know that people judge you for it. It's like, it's okay to be weird in front of well, not camera, to be weird in front of the mic. It is like, it's like a lesson of like, this is actually harder than I thought. Streaming is actually harder than I thought. And like, which is like, I think one of the reasons why my voice was like really, really small back then. And I would like talk like this and it would just like be really, really, I would just be really, really timid and everything. Like, I wouldn't speak as I do right now. I wouldn't be as good as I am right now. Because once more, like, it is surprisingly not as easy as I thought. It is surprisingly really embarrassing. It's surprisingly really hard. I remember the the jitters that I get from like having to stream. It's like both really fun and really, really scary at the same time, because what if I mess up? And like, now I know that if I mess up, well, I messed up. It's fine. It's funny. You can turn it into entertainment whenever you want. But like back then, it's like, what if I mess up? Everything has to be incredibly perfect because perfection, you know? Everything needs to be perfect when, like, you know, you don't have to be perfect. You can just be your incredibly scuffed self and it's fine. I've proven it. I've been scuffed. I was scuffed. I was scuffed for like 2 months at least until I figure out the reason for my scuff. To the point where I actually had a scuff counter at some point. Because what is my stream without a little bit of scuff? Every stream we have a little bit of scuff. Anyway, you don't choose the scuff life chooses you. Exactly. You don't choose scuff, the scuff life chooses you. Which, I mean, I'm glad that there's less scuff right now because that means I'm learning. That means I'm learning. But I've since then understood that, well, I mean, not everyone's perfect. And the fact that that not everything is perfect is a part of like the streaming experience. Something will go wrong and you're just gonna have to improv your way out of it. And that is a life lesson. Something in life will go wrong and you're just gonna have to freaking improv your way out of it. Remember that. Maybe someday I'll get famous and I will get quoted. That's one of the very first life lessons quote you'll learn from me. Whatever it is. And another thing is that one thing that I learned also throughout my life as a 1 year almost streamer that is like only serious 6 months before this. whatever that is. Like basically throughout my content creation life process, I've since then learned that you have to be the very first person to be confident in your content before anyone else can be confident in your content, which is like an insane thing to say because one of the things that whenever like I create a work or a project or anything, I would have a really cool idea, but then I would always be scared that nobody will like it. That people will think it's lame, or people will think that it's stupid, and it won't be like, maybe if I'm trying to make someone funny, it won't be funny, it won't be good, it won't be impressive, and all that stuff. But I think it was like one of the content creation videos tips thingies. I don't really remember where I heard that, but it was, you have to be confident in your content before anyone can be confident in yours. And that just kind of like makes me go, wait, all this time I was so scared of people not liking my content that I started doubting myself. And this isn't like streaming. Streaming was like a whole process of like ups and downs. It was just like a whole different thing. But like it was basically another content a channel that I have that I don't continue anymore because I don't have the time to. But it was like, I have to like my content first, and then other people will like it. And it's like not an instant thing, but I do start feeling a lot better about what I make. What I make. And it's insane because like it's not just a content thing. It's like a lot of things. You have to be confident in yourself first, and then other people can be confident in you. And that's like one of the things that led me into being so much better in one, public speaking, two, teaching people what, and like, you know, teaching people is basically what I do in my job. I am a trainer in my job. So like I have to be confident in what I can do first, or people will be scared to ask me anything. So you get what I mean, right? It's like it helps me with like a lot of things, including but not limited to streaming. And I think that's like, again, where like the idea of like where like, not necessarily the idea, where like the initial timidness also comes from. Like again, streaming is a whole freaking process of like confidence and not confidence, like just ups and downs and like loops to loops and around and arounds and everything. It was just like a whole ass process to get here. Because if I look back at my content before, maybe I don't really see a huge difference. But me doing content right now, like me streaming right now and me streaming back then, man, the whole preparation for streams is like completely different. Because I think I remember like just being ready 30 minutes before my time to stream, sitting down and just like trying to calm myself down and not get the jittery, and like not like, you know, when your heart rate's like super fast because you're nervous, getting butterflies in your stomachs. And it's like I had that experience, but it was like basically there for the first 2 months of streaming. Now, if I want, like, you ask me to stream right now, I can just boot up my computer immediately and just gap for like 1.5 hours. Like what I'm doing right now. Which is, again, it's like, yeah. It's strange, like making these like weird content weirdly teaches me a lot of things. Also, like the part about like failing and laughing at yourself, I think is one of the most incredibly great, like precious things that I've learned. It's just making your life basically into a comedy. Laugh at everything you do. If it's scuff, if you're stupid, if you fail, just laugh and say, hey, that's ridiculous. That's funny. Just try again. Just keep on doing it, and then suddenly one day you'll nail that one black hole maneuver that you thought would never happen by getting stuck in one of the structures, and then flying up into the black hole forge. It was not perfect, but hey, it happened. Anyway, we don't know the context of what happened. Basically, yesterday I was playing Outer Wilds, and I really hated falling into the black hole of one of the planets. Spoilers, by the way, if you want to play Outer Wilds. I probably should have said that. I was trying to like get to this forge. I could have went the normal way, or like the quote unquote intended way to like get to that place, but then I saw a sick maneuver. I saw a really sick maneuver on YouTube, and I went, I'm gonna do that. And well, I spent at least 1.5 hour or 1 hour trying to do it. And in the end, I kind of did it. It's not perfect, but it's there. It's in the VODs. I'm also gonna make a short about it. I'm also going to make a clip about it. So, yeah, if you guys don't know the context, just wait for it. It's gonna be there. Anyway, the title of the stream is DND, and I still have not talked about DND, so let's talk about DND for a little bit. Until we get into like another topic that's fun, and maybe I'll go on a rant about it. Let me drink and have a little bit of break. Okay, so reiterating again what I just said in the beginning of stream, for those of you who have not come in the beginning of stream, I started being incredibly obsessed with D&D when it was like around April or May, somewhere along those lines. It was because of Dimension 20, thanks to Brandon Lee, Brandon Lee, I said Brandon Lee Mulligan. That's two different people. That is both Brandon Sanderson and Brandon Lee Mulligan. What is up with my brain today? My brain is never okay. So yeah, thanks to Mr. Brandon Lee Mulligan. He's an incredible DM, an incredible person, and really funny. I basically became obsessed with it because of Dimension 20 and the whole cast. And as I said before, because I watched them, and because like Dimension 20 is like filled with comedians, entertainers, and like every single content, like live stream, game that I watch, it's like filled with, again, people who have either played D&D for a really long time, actors, or comedians. So their roleplay is either incredibly cool or incredibly funny, which made me have like a really, really high expectation when I came into my first game. I was genuinely unexpectedly, and like I didn't realize that I had this expectation coming into the first game, but after finishing the first game, I was kind of disappointed. Not necessarily because the game was not fun, it's just because it wasn't exactly as I expected it to be. Because, let's be real, most of the people who play D&D are not comedians, nor are they entertainers, nor are they masters of improv, nor are they actors or professionals at what they do. Most of the people are just trying to chill and have fun. And when you're trying to chill and have fun, and like, you know, your DM isn't Matt Mercer or Brennan Lee Mulligan or Abria or anyone that you see on the internet. Most people are just normal people like you and me trying to play a damn game. And it's not perfect. It's not exactly as it was in the content, because like again, when you watch a YouTube video, a lot of things are edited and like it can be quote unquote scripted. I do believe that when they play D&D, it's not scripted, but there's a lot of things that happen, like sound effects and like visual effects that like are on the screen that add to the story. And you know, when you watch Dimension 20, they have this really, really cool 3D set for like the combat, and that's like, wow, would I love to make one of those. That is incredibly fun. It seems like it's so fun to make one of those battle sets, but it would take so much time and so much energy. I just don't have that right now, and I don't know what I do with it, and everything, basically. But yeah, basically going into my first game, all I thought was, this didn't feel like watching Fantasy High. Because, again, it wasn't. It was not fantasy high. It was just that. A game where people are trying to have fun. Yeah. It was it was also pretty funny that by the end of it it's like, is it me? I did not realize that I had like a high expectation of like what DND could be, and it was obviously it was definitely very screwed because of the whole DND content thing that is like to a live audience who are comedians and just really good at what they do. It's basically like my fault for having a super high expectation, but also not really my fault because all I've seen of DND is just like good people doing good things. I have never seen normal people doing normal things. You know. So when I went to the game, I was so scared because I thought I had to be perfect, and then my DM was like, I don't think it was my DM, or it was like someone. I think it was someone, and they were like trying to introduce their character, and they were like uh, uh, and it's like, this is not perfect gameplay. This is like okay roleplay. And like when combat came in, I had like no idea what I'm allowed to do, what I'm not allowed to do. And it was like it wasn't a perfect game. And I did really enjoy it. And again, I was wrong for like expecting something different. Because again, I had super high expectations that I did not realize was there. But it was basically that kind of idea. But you know, I've since then learned, and I I stopped having that kind of expectations, you know? And ever since then, I actually enjoyed playing the game a lot more. Because then I started doing weird shit that is like funny and like don't care, sometimes incredibly in character, sometimes just slightly out of character, just because it's funny and just because I can, because you know in D&D you can do anything you want unless the die says no. And basically after that it just started becoming really really fun. Also, speaking of like first sessions, so whenever you play a game of D&D, sometimes whenever the DM prompts it to, you start with session 0, right? And this is my first game, and I started like with a session 0, and because we're playing it online with a VTT, which is virtual tabletop, you need to kind of like prep your characters in the virtual tabletop, like putting it on online. And I remember just being so jittery and have like being so nervous. I was so nervous. Yes, I am a shy person, regardless of what I look like on stream. I am an incredibly shy person. Uh, Regardless of how crazy I am right now, I am an incredibly shy person whenever I'm trying to do something new. I'm an incredibly timid person. Um, where was I? Right. Basically, what happened was everyone on the table was really really kind. First time experiences would definitely make you at least a bit nervous. It was not a bit. It was like a lot nervous. Everyone in the table was really really kind. Everyone, the DM, the players, there were like a lot of veterans there. I was basically the only first timer. There was also like a relatively newbie kind of person that was there, but the DM was also a new DM. He wasn't like I mean, I think he was a veteran player, but a new DM, relatively. I don't know. I don't know them. They're just people I met online. But, like, there were veterans there, and, like, they knew what they were talking about. There's, like, these homebrew stuff, and, like, new conditions that I do not know what the fuck it means. But I was, like, pretending to not have questions, even though I had no idea what the fuck is going on. And then I was just like, basically, I was a shy. I. Session 0 was meant to have you ask questions to the DM and just like understand what you're getting into. And then I remember not asking and just like not ask, like basically the virtual tabletop was like confusing, and I remember not asking anyone about how to do things. Because like I don't know. I don't know what is it with me with the obsession of like having to do things all by myself. It's just like I have to do it all by myself. I don't know why. It just happens. Hold on. My stomach is getting weird. Okay. Wait, a moment. Shit's acting up. It's fine. It'll go away in a few. Um, where was I? Right, I was supposed to like I again I don't know what is it, the obsession with me having to do everything by myself, but I thought, you know what? I already have a concept. I have a guide on the internet. I can do things by myself. That was the wrong thing to do. If you're a new player, ask everyone how to make a character. Because it's a good thing. It's a good thing I was playing rogue. Because if I was playing like a wizard or something, man, man, wizards and their spells are incredibly complicated. God damn it. Like, I think I read somewhere that rogues are really simple to do because they have no spells and it's like newbie friendly. It's easy to play. You don't require a lot of things because you don't have spells, is basically what they say. And so it's a good thing I chose rogue. The funniest part was that trying to get it into the VTT, into the virtual tabletop, was so complicated. It wasn't that the instructions were not clear on the VTT. It was that Phasia, decided that I'm smart enough to do this on my own and not ask for help, which is wrong. You should always ask for help. You Everyone's there to help you. Everyone in the table was incredibly welcoming, incredibly nice. I am the idiot there. So it was definitely my fault. It was also really funny because for the whole week, no, not for the whole week. I think I spent like a whole Sunday for like 3 hours just trying to figure out how to do this shit on my own. And then going into the first session and being like, oh wait, you haven't added this thing into your character sheet? And I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to add that in? And then thankfully everyone was incredibly helpful and the game went really quickly. And then next week the next week when session 2 came around, I managed to like add the stuff that I did not add onto the character sheet. And because of that experience, now I can make my own character sheet without anyone helping me. Which is awesome, but yeah, I don't think anyone doesn't like to help others. I think only shitty people don't like to help others. I think most people would love to help others. Yeah. I think relatively the majority of people are just incredibly helpful, and it is our screwed perception of the whole world that the fact that everyone is inherently evil is what makes us think that nobody will help us when we need it. But relatively most people are willing to help. So yeah, if you don't know stuff, ask for help. Don't be me. I am the idiot. I am the idiot around here. And it was definitely my fault. But it does make for a really interesting experience of me just trying to figure shit out and just being like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? Where the fuck do I put this? What the fuck is going on? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on in this entire thing. I'm just trying to get my character sheet done. Yeah. It was a whole ass thing. Thankfully, I've since then learned how to do that. I've since then learned and realized that, again, most other people are incredibly welcoming, and I've basically integrated into the community, and which means I am no longer super duper nervous whenever I'm trying to do things. So my second game was a lot better. My second game was a lot better. I played like a one short campaign for my first game and then like a one shot for my second game. And yeah, and my second game was a one shot, which means like it's one time thing, and it was all for newbies. So if I have a question, I wouldn't seem stupid. The idea of joining a campaign for only newbies was that I would not seem stupid if I have a question. But going into that session zero, like session preparation beforehand with like a, and then the campaign after, was that I knew, because I chose again, I decided that I would choose a relatively easy class to like use, the fighter, which isn't like as simple as rogue, but it's a lot more complicated. But like it's, I wouldn't, wait, actually I wouldn't say fighter's like a lot more complicated. It is still a melee class, so it's not like incredibly complicated, but it's like not the same kind of class that I would use basically. And I did learn a lot more about how to build a character, about like how to maximize your, how to like metagame your character, how like min max. I wouldn't say metagame. I would say min max your character, because like there are some aspects that you could like min max basically and make the best character as much as possible that is like true to your lore and also like has a pretty good attack and it's not shitty. Um, Again, it was like an easy class, so I didn't have too much trouble with like making the character sheet, but it was like a lot of like lesson of like um how to make something, I would say like how to like add, like what exactly do you add and how do you add it, because like virtual tabletop, everything's digital, you can't just write things down, you gotta do stuff sometimes to like make things work. um which again, the DM, because he's a veteran, they're incredibly knowledgeable in like what we're basically doing. They're so used to using all the VTTs that we're doing, and like we're filled with newbies. It was like a different kind of experience because I was the smartest one there basically. And it wasn't because, and like when I say the smartest, I meant the smartest in making a character sheet, because I've done it before. Because I've done it once before on my own. And because, when you learn stuff on your own, you mess up a lot. And like I said before, we learn by failing. And because of that, I learned a lot of things by failing. And yeah, that's basically what happens. But like again, because the first game I played was like a combination between veterans and newbies, I the role play in that was like different. In this second game, because it's all newbies, sometimes people who have not played at all, it was also like a different experience, because the veterans are used to role play, they have like quick thinking response, really fun things to talk about in like moments where roleplay is prompted. Newbies are what I would like to say gets choice paralysis. When you're allowed to do everything or like to do anything, you start to get confused. What exactly would I do? It's like when you have two different choices of flavors, you're like, okay, it's either A or B. When you get 100 choices of flavors, you don't start to choose a lot of things. You just get one thing and then that's it. You don't get the other choices, because like which one, where should I start? I think that's like what happens basically in like early DND, which like again, like when I say newbie, it happens also to me because I was also confused on like what to do when everyone has roleplay. So like usually I would tail behind someone to do roleplay to help me. Someone like, it's kind of like when we have a conversation, I would wait for someone else to make a conversation and then I would jump into the conversation. And like that's the kind of thing what I would do, basically do in roleplay, because again, like me doing roleplay is not that awkward. It's just I don't know how to start the role play. you know. So a lot of my characters are like incredibly timid, don't really talk much, so I don't get pressured into having to talk immediately to start a conversation, basically. But basically the second game was that kind of experience where the role play is incredibly confusing. Because like again, everyone's newbie, everyone doesn't know what to do, including myself. So basically there was like only out of like 5 people, I think only 2 decided to do the role play, which again, like it's not necessarily a bad thing. I would say it was like a learning experience, but it was definitely like a different experience than like my first game, which was like all mostly veterans. I'm the only one who's new, so I can like tag along into doing this game. I'm gonna sneeze, hold on. Oh gosh. My nose and my stomach is not working very well today. Uh but basically, yeah, that's basically what happened. And it was like an interesting experience of like, I see. So basically what happens when everyone is new is that nobody fucking role plays because nobody knows what to fucking do. Everyone's like so confused, and like, when you play a game of D&D, it's like a really quick thing, like a bum 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 kind of thing. It's really dependent on like improvisation. That's why, like, whenever I see people say D&D is not a storyteller, D&D is not telling a story, D&D is improv, I agree, because based on my experiences in being a player, the most important thing isn't necessarily telling a story. The most important thing is improvising what you're gonna do next, because you never really know anything until you get to the point. and and I haven't played a lot of games, but I've seen enough. I think I've had enough experience to like know, okay, this is basically what happens. I guess basically you will never really know what's going to happen until you actually get into the game, which is pretty fun actually, which is probably the best and worst thing about D&D. As someone who plans a lot of things, this this feature of the unknown is incredibly scary. However, that is the game. That is the game. My throat is starting to hurt from speaking really loud for 2 hours, which is again one of my fault. I could have just spoken really softly like when I was really timid, but I didn't. I started to just shout things every single time. We're stuck here. I have since then, I think, played at least 4. I am in my 4th campaign right now. So yeah. So yeah. I actually really like playing this game. Um Actually, I just think about it. I put this on the notes. Second game experience where you do your character sheet on your job. So right, yeah, I just remembered that one shot experience. The session 0 was actually in a day where I couldn't join the stream. The first time. Oh, hello, D17JDJ. I almost died as soon as my D&D game started, and last time I took cover behind a teammate, and when I attacked, I almost killed him. D&D is cool, but it's not for me. No, maybe you just haven't found the perfect game. Oh, true. Hi, hello, welcome to the stream. Hello. Yeah, maybe yeah. I know D&D might, yeah. You know what? I agree. It might not be for everyone. Maybe some people would enjoy watching the game more than like playing the game. Just DJ, it's okay? All right then. Hello, DJ. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to my stream. Yes. What else should I say? I am bad at introductions and endings. It is basic. I'm bad at everything actually. I'm just trying to live life and trying to vibe, and I indicate how to role play. Honestly, fair. Honestly, fair enough. I think yeah. Like D&D is an incredibly fun game, but I do agree that it might not be for everyone. Maybe some people like watching D&D and not playing it. And I think that's okay too. Or maybe again, you just haven't found the right table to play with. So it is like a different experience for everyone. It is an incredibly fun experience for me though. I would say. I love the game with my very limited experience of playing it. But I did remember that one shot, that second game that I play, that one shot that I play, the session 0 was actually a day before, which like again, before I said it was the same day, but I forgot that it actually was the day before. And I made the character sheet when I was in my job. It's really funny because that day I didn't have a lot of things to do. So I know that I could make my character sheet, I could have my session 0. Not necessarily session 0. It was like making a character sheet, but I couldn't have my mic on because like it was like, what is it called? It was online, and the DM, because we're all newbies, the DM was like teaching us on how to like do character sheets, and like doing it step by step, like literally step by step on like, sorry for the burp. Oh my god. Step by step on like what to choose from first and what you should like do from the beginning till the end. And I couldn't, it was like during a time where I was in my office and I was still in my job. So I did the character sheet on my job, on the desk, in my office. It was really funny. Cuz I did say that, hey DM, I can't open mic because I have a thing that I needed to do. And the DM was like, that's cool. It's okay. I'm just gonna walk you through step by step, doing everything and, and stuff, basically. And I was like, cool. Whatever it is, I'll join the call. I can't open my mic because I didn't say I was in my job, but I did say I had a thing that I needed to do. And when the call happened, it was on Discord, so like we can do Discord chat and everything, right? So when some other people were like helping us, and then some other veterans were like helping us, giving like inputs and like stuff in chat, and basically just helping, right? Because handling 5 newbies is not an easy job. It's an incredibly hard job. Um. So I was there. I was asking questions through like chat and everything, whatever I needed to, and like someone was like, and like, oh wait, no, when it was like done. I said, "Oh, it's cool. So is this done?" Yeah, it's done. And the DM was like, "Yes, it's done. You can go back to whatever you need to do." Cool. Time to get back to work. And then and then someone was like, "Wait, actually, what? Hold on. You're making your character sheet at work?" And I'm like, "Yeah," with the cool emoji. It was really funny. Which again, speaking of session 0, somewhere else and not in my house. Most of the games that I play are online. My third game. So I was going back. I went to a game, and like when I was out of town, and the like how should I say, the announcement, so the community was like sign up based. So it wasn't like players looking for a group of players looking for a DM. It was like DM opening a game. Who wants to join? You guys can like sign up, and the DM gets to choose which players are like are like going to be in the game. And I signed up. The announcement was when I was out of town, and coincidentally, it's not a coincidence. I didn't know. So when I was like out of town, I didn't know if I was going to get into the game or not. Basically, I didn't know if the DM was going to accept my character pitch or not. And they did. He did accepted my character pitch. And what happened was, at session 0, is when I was going back, like my trip back from to like my house. So I was out of town. I went with a car and I had to go back with a car. So it was like like an 8 hour, 10 hour road trip from there and then back to my house. So it was session zero was me in a car. And then the DM was like, "Can you join session zero?" And I'm like, "Sure. I can join session zero. But here's the thing, DM. I'm going to be going in a trip. I'm going to go back home, basically. And I can join, but I might not be able to open mic because I'm on my way." And DM was like, "Cool." Maybe he thought that I'm on my way back from work. When I told him that I was back from out of town, and along with the other players, they were all like, "Excuse me, you're doing session zero on your car?" And I'm like, "Yep." So twice, twice, I did session zero from somewhere out of my house. And to be fair, it was incredibly fun. Like, it was an incredibly fun experience. Session zero, I think most of my session zeros are really, really unhinged, mostly because I'm not in my house, usually not in like a really controlled space and just like vibing somewhere else. But that was basically the experience. And like again, my very first session zero, my very first campaign that I joined was literally me being super shy, too shy to ask anything, and so I was struggling to make my own character sheet, which is like not a good thing to do. Again, it's not a good thing to do. It's me being stupid. Don't be stupid. If you're confused, ask. And if you're not enjoying something, tell everyone. Communicate after the game or before the game or something. I don't know. But basically, I didn't have a normal session zero until my last campaign, which is my fourth campaign. Which it was finally an actual normal session zero with me actually knowing what to do and how to make my character sheet, and like me understanding everything that everyone's talking about. Finally, I had enough experience in watching and playing D&D to know what I must do in session zero. But it was really funny that now that I think about it, I have, out of my 4 games, I have never had a normal session zero until the 4th one. And it's because every single time the session zero came around, it was because I was somewhere else and not in my house. Yeah, since I think it would be boring to have an OP character, I wonder how it goes. I have not, I don't know actually. OP characters, I think OP characters. Yeah, it can be, I don't know D&D enough to like talk about OP characters, but it is a really fun discussion to talk about OP characters because like, every single players want their characters to be OP. Every single player will do some really shitty player stuff that surprises DM every single time because they would do some weird things that the DM did not think about, and it's like, I don't know, I would call it cheese. Some other people would call it too OP because your character can literally do anything. I like, the player's fun, but like the DM might not have OP would be like a One Punch Man scenario where you can't really do so much. Right, One Punch Man. Honestly, I don't think there is a build. Again, I don't know D&D enough to say this, but as far as I know, I don't think there is a build that can do One Punch Man scenarios where like you literally just one shot everything unless you're like level 20 and the enemy is like level 1. That's a different thing. They don't have as much hit points, but I gambled with my stats and I lost a lot. Oh, the ability attributes, the like strength, charisma, and everything, or is it like another thing? Because up till right now, I don't think I've ever used point buy, even though it is available on the table. Yes? Okay. Yeah, so also really funny story about me gambling my stats. So, usually point buy is on the table. The DM would let us use point buy, or during this one single game with like the newbies, we used the standard array, and everyone used that. So it's not a gamble. But most of my games that I played, it's rolling the stats. And again, when you roll, you can't take it back. It's a gamble, right? So I would roll the stats, and there's just one time where we could roll twice. So like use like a device, like an online thing where like you roll twice and you can choose whichever one from those two scenarios. So there's this one thing that is like, so I had like two choices. One of them had like really good and really balanced stats. I think the lowest one was a 10. The highest one was like a 14. It was like 10, 10, 13, 12, and 14. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it was pretty high. And none of them got like, none of the modifiers are a -1, which means like none of them are below a 10, which is a great thing. Now, the other one had a 6, which means it's like a -2 or -3. No. No. A 7 was a minus. No. 8 is -1. 6 is -2. Right. 6 is a -2. But the other one had an 18. So naturally, I could choose the one with the really shitty stat that had a 6 in it, and an 18, or a really balanced one. So naturally, I would choose the one with an 18. Which means I have a -2 in one of the modifiers, right? And because I was playing a fighter, I had to put the 20 to strength. The good ones to basically the good ones to strength, dexterity, and constitution. And then intelligence, wisdom, and like charisma is like shitty. Everything is like either a 10. And my wisdom was a 6 or a 7 because modifiers. Because like, I don't know, because background additional attributes, right? And so, because my wisdom modifier is a -2, I have a passive perception of 8. And my DM went, wait, why is your passive perception 8? Wait, do you have a -2 on wisdom? And I'm like, yes! Yes! I have a -2 on wisdom! And it's because I want that 18. Which is like, it was a gamble. It was, rolling on stats is a gamble because when you get really good, you get really good. When you get really bad, that happens. I wasn't like super screwed because at least one of them were pretty good. So at least I wasn't like incredibly awful. But what happened? Yeah, basically that's what happened. But the great thing is, 18 strength, with the fact that I am a fighter, I get +2 strength, I think. Or is that a dragonborn thing? I forgot which one it is, but I get a +2 strength, which means in total I have 20 strength, which means my modifier for strength is 5. Which is awesome. Which is really great. Because then at level 1, my athletics, which one? Acrobatics is dexterity. Athletics check is a +7 because I have proficiency with athletics, which is great. Just be a one trick and just hulk your way through it. Exactly. And when my DM asked, do you want to multi-class into something else? And I'm like, I mean, what do we need? Since the party didn't have a cleric, they were like, why don't you multi-class into cleric? And I'm like, with a -2 wisdom and a 0 on intelligence? Are you sure? The only class that I can multi-class into that is like, what is it called? Really maximizing all my stats that I have right now is barbarian. That's the only class that I can multi-class with a 20 strength. So I can't be your cleric. I have a -2 to wisdom, and I can't do anything about it because I want to take feats. So, so yeah, even if I do take the ability score addition, I would just add a +1, which is like, mine, like what, 6 to 7 doesn't matter. Might have confused the cleric for a late cleric. Necromancer. Exactly. You might have a cleric who never makes who's just really bad at what they do. -2 to wisdom. I actually don't know. Wait, do clerics cast their abilities with like wisdom, or is it with intelligence? Or I don't think it's charisma. I think it is wisdom. Cleric DC. What is the no. The spell save DC on your spell casting ability modifier. What is your cleric spell casting ability modifier? It is wisdom, right? I'm a necromancer in my DND. Honestly, I have never tried becoming a cleric, and I did want to be a necromancer. I don't know. Wait, no, wait. Is cleric and necromancer the same thing, or is it a different class? I don't know D&D much. I don't know D&D enough to know this at the top of my head. But anyway, speaking of the cleric thing, when my DM said that, I have a -2 to wisdom. Cleric's spellcasting ability modifier is wisdom. Being a cleric must be fun, just fixing people after they died. After they died. I'm a shifter too. Wait, that's awesome though. That's like cool, because most of like the races or species that I played are just like the really normal ones, like human, and like I did tabaxi once. That's really cool though. I think the one relatively cool thing that I've ever done is in my last campaign where I managed to become an alchemist. And the thing is, so when my sister asked me, "That's cool, alchemist, what race are you?" And I'm like, "Human." And she was like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Girl, do you know the amount of things that I have to prepare to be an alchemist?" The thing, I don't just have to prepare spells, because I took like a feat, no, not feat, like an ability thing where you can have cantrips as an alchemist. I have to read spells. I have to read abilities that are like strictly like I would say quote unquote alchemist quote unquote spell, which is like bombs. Alchemist in Valda's thing, Spire of Secrets, alchemists do bombs, right? Like you get like modifications for the bombs and everything, and you have to read a lot of things for the bombs, and then like I gotta read some other things for like other special stuff in the alchemist thing. I gotta read basically in the end, because my subclass is Xeno Alchemist. I gotta read the monstrous grafts too. Basically in the end, I gotta read like 4 separate things that I have to like choose from. The first one is like a cantrip, because I decided to take a graft and an ability to get 4 cantrips. The second one, and like I get 2 freebies, 2 spell slot, no, 2 prepared spell freebies because from my DM, because homebrew. The second one is the monsters grafts. The third one is the bombs, and the last one is like what in alchemy, in the alchemist class they call it discovery. Basically we get like private feats of alchemy. I gotta read like basically 4 things, and my sister went like, "But cool special races," and I'm like, "Girl, I got no time to think about race. I got like human is simple. Let me be a normal class." No, let me be a normal race. Let me just be normal, because I got to read 4 separate things. And also my DM decided that I can get, because homebrew, I get an item. Oh wait, no, I get 2 items. And I have to read all the items, which I have to like read 5 separate things. Yeah. It was the whole thing. And like I'm so glad that I get this kind of experience because one, it's really fun. It's really, really fun having to like choose stuff from like what you from like your class and everything. Two, but like, you know, two, it's incredibly complicated and I was so tired by the end of my character creation. It was so much reading. I'm glad I like reading because I would have thought that as a chore if I didn't like reading. Another drink because talking is hard. Talking is incredibly hard. Oh my gosh. Honestly, it was this last campaign is actually one of my favorite campaigns yet. Not necessarily because of anything, it was just simply because I get to actually make a quote unquote complicated character. And when I say complicated character, I meant I have spells and all the sorts. Because like before that, I've only did like fighters and then like rogue, which means I never managed to like get a choose my prepared spells. I'm so sorry for the burp. My stomach is acting up. I hate it as much as you do. Basically, before that, I've never managed to like choose prepared spells and actually use spells in like my characters. So being an alchemist is pretty fun. I need to take care of my stomach. Hold on. Stomach acid is shit. Having too much acid reflux is really bad. Granted, I did eat late. It was like 3 hours late, so it's probably my fault. But yeah, whatever. Oh gosh, yeah. You know, now that I think about it, I guess being a cleric, multiclassing into a no, wait, you can't multiclass unless you have the prerequisite, which is like at least 13 wisdom. Yeah, you can't do that. But honestly, it would be really funny if I'm a cleric and I have -8 to wisdom. It's really stupid, but it would be really funny. I think I did. Like one of the players in my last campaign decided to point by their ability score because the last time they rolled, they were playing a wizard and they had a -2 to intelligence. That is really bad. So bad. It's funny, but also like why? It's really funny, but why? But why? Oh gosh. Okay. So, so, uh, dang, that's crazy, bro. Was walking with a single brain cell. Bro was like, you know that thing where it's like, if I try hard enough, I will be able to be a wizard kind of like idea. If I learn hard enough, I will be a wizard. Honestly, that kind of makes for a really cool character. I don't know if that will work, but but that can happen. Honestly, I did have a really tanky wizard in my party at some point when I was a player. It was pretty funny because the wizard guy was in the front line for some reason. It actually became a joke because he's an old man and I'm a young tabaxi woman who is incredibly agile and is a rogue and can definitely steal your stuff. Uh it became a joke because I kept on saying, "Old man, how do you live?" And he's like, "I don't know." Because why do you stand in the front? You're a freaking wizard, bro. You can die, you meet like you could what whatever. but basically that's what happened. It was a pretty funny like concept of a character. I would say that it is pretty funny. And -2 wizard intelligence. -2 intelligence to wizards. Their spell save DC is like what? 12, like 8 or something. I don't remember what they said, but it was pretty low for like a wizard. It's like that's shit. But it would make for a pretty funny character. Anyway, anyone's not already guessing, haha, no. Wait, actually, what exactly was the joke that I was trying to say? It kind of flew off my head, and it's like I stopped in the middle of a joke, and it became really weird because I was gonna say something along the lines of, if anybody would have guessed. Basically, the main reason why I started playing D&D was because I thought it would be really fun to be a DM, the dungeon master, basically. And I don't remember what the joke was about, but it was something along those lines. But I don't know if anybody would have guessed that. Because why would you guess that? You know basically nothing about me except for the fact that I shout a lot and I scuff in this stream, and that's probably it. Or maybe some other things that I forgot what I said on stream. But yeah, and maybe also the fact that my birthday is on September 7th and I'm gonna stream that day. Haha, I'm gonna keep on saying this until everybody knows and everybody's gonna tune in to my birthday stream. Probably. It's promotion. It's shameless self-promotion. Birthday stream September 7th. It's gonna be around nighttime. That's a Sunday. That's a weird day to stream. So you better be there so I feel appreciated and everyone loves me. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, the reason why I play D&D, now I know what I am doing then. No, come to my birthday stream and watch me rant about my birthday. I do have something planned on birthday stream though, so you better come. If you don't come, I will hunt you down and I will find you and I will make you come to my birthday stream. We all know that's a joke because I don't even know where you live. I can try. That's awesome. Honestly, if you can't come, it's fine. But like, you have to come or I'm gonna make you. Basically the reason why I played D&D is because I thought it would be really fun to be a DM. Because I saw I watched Brennan Lee Mulligan. Thank you for the follow, DJ. I watch Brennan Lee Mulligan, I watch Matt Mercer, I watch every other DM on YouTube. They seem like really cool people and they get to tell really cool stories, and I want to do that. I want to be able to tell cool stories too. But then my sister was like, Faye is gonna appear in my walls until the day comes. I am going to haunt you in your sleep and in your days when you are awake. I am going to haunt you in your house, in your office, in the hallways of no, not in the hallways, in like the places you walk to, in your car, in your bus, your train, whatever vehicle you use to transport. I will watch you and I will appear in your dreams and in your waking hours, whatever. You know what? Even if I can do that, I probably won't, just because I'm incredibly lazy and I would get tired doing that. So I, I say that I will, but I won't. Honestly, I'm just too lazy to do anything that requires me to have to like be there 24/7. It's just too tiring for me. I'm not gonna do it, even if I have the power to be able to. But hey, basically what I wanted, I saw Brennan Lee Mulligan, Matt Mercer, and I think that they're pretty cool. Felbred, hello, Felbred, welcome to the stream. Hi. What was I talking about? Yeah, I thought it would be really cool to be a DM, and then I told my sister that, and because she played D&D before I did, and she introduced me to the community that I am in right now, the Discord community that we are in right now. she was like, you know, you can just immediately be a DM, right? And then I'm like, girl, I have literally zero experiences in playing D&D and I don't know what to do. Then just play. And that's where all these games came from. Basically I wanted to be a DM. And like honestly, props to everyone on the server and on the community. I need to sneeze. I need to sneeze. Hello. Oh, thank you for the reminder. I need to sneeze. Thank you for the reminder. You can also not make me remind me of my posture and just fart 1,000 times with your 100 channel points. You can fart rather than because apparently that's what most people do. But thank you for the reminder. I really literally did slouch when you redeemed that. What was I talking about? Right, yeah. I didn't know anything about D&D, and my sister was like, "Oh, there, point proven. People don't remind me to hydrate and do posture check anymore. They just fart. They just fart. They just choose to fart because it's funnier, and it surprises me every single time whenever I'm playing a game because I don't look at my computer and I don't look at chat when I'm playing a game. So whenever the sound comes around, it always surprises me because it's really loud. So yeah." That was a really long paragraph that I just said. And I'm surprised that I did not lose my breath there. So thank you also for the reminder. Sippy sippy with my sippy bottle thingy. Oh gosh. Yeah, props to everyone on the server and like basically the community. Because when I expressed the want to be a DM, they were like, "Yes, we need more DMs." But the moment I saw this like really funny pie chart statistics of like DM to players in the community, you know, a pie chart, right? A pie chart, that's circle chart. And usually when you see a pie chart, there's like two colors at least, right? I'm sorry for the burping. There's like two colors, right? Because, you know, you should at least have two categories. It was really funny because when they sent me the pie chart, I was like, why is there a single color? It's supposed to be a pie chart. And then I saw this really tiny segment that says DM. If you say in percent, it's like 1 to 2% of the whole community. Most of everyone is a player. There's like 2 to 3, like at least maybe up to like 5% if I'm being generous, who is a DM. So when they first sent me that, I was like, that's only one color. Why is it all player? Wait, hold on. DM. That's incredibly small. That's crazy. I know. When I found that, I was like, no freaking wonder they were like so welcoming when I said I wanted to become a DM, because if we looked at that, they do need a DM. And one of them said that they were a veteran. They said that when they established this Discord server for the first time, he's asked like at least 100 people, and out of the 100 people he asked like, do you want to be a DM? He said that only one wanted to be a DM. Only one said, yes, I want to be a DM. It's like insane because literally 1% of the whole community wants to be a DM, said yes to becoming a DM. That's like, what the heck? What the heck? So like, yeah, they were incredibly supportive when I did say that I wanted to be a DM. They were really like helpful. They did give me like a lot of tips on like, you can try to do this, you can read that, you can do like you can find these modules and everything. And yesterday when I joined the call and can like hang around with them, they were all like, so when are you gonna open your first game? When are you gonna open your first campaign? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I already do have the story, but I don't know when. And they're like, Come on, let's just do it first. You don't even need to be prepared. Just do it first. We'll help. I will sign up and I will help you. And basically I wouldn't say they kind of pressured me. I would say they gave me the confidence to finally open a game. So when I'm finally opening a game, you're all gonna be hearing from me and my experiences and how nervous I was playing a game. Being a DM, 1/100 is crazy. I know. Like if it's like the amount of weird people in a room, 1 out of 100, that's cool. But the amount of people who wants to play a DM out of players, 1/100, it's like that's insane. One game is like 5 people, and maybe 6 to 7 if that's like a large group. Like 5 is standard, like 5 is large. No, 5 is like medium. 4 is standard. 3 is like small, right? And like if like one DM has like 5 people in one session, it would require you to have like at least for like 100 people, it would require you to at least have 20 DMs to play a game. So like 1 in 100 is actually insane. Playing a DM sounds tiring. I don't know. I mean, remembering all these things would be a nightmare. This is why you prepare. Guys, this is why DMs prep. There's this thing called DM prep. DMs write down the most important things. They write down the most important things so that they don't forget, which I think I did read a module which helped me prepare as a first time DM who has not opened a campaign yet but has actually prepared for the campaign. They did basically not told me, like give me examples of it, what exactly I should prepare. And honestly, most of the things that they prepared are just like setting. Like how the vibe of the room, what happens when you go in the room, what is in the room, like really cool events that happens. Basically some shit happened and suddenly they're all transported to a tavern, kind of like that. Because I did say before, what I've learned from like other people, and also you have reactive working, didn't notice. This isn't reactive, but yes, you're right. This isn't the one you gave me. Because we're doing a just chatting stream, my computer can actually work this other software that helps with, that does actually the reacting save. Well, got to go. Adios. Thank you for coming, DJ. Have fun in doing whatever it is you're doing next. Have fun in life, because life is not fun, so you should always have fun and smile. Anyway, thank you for coming around. Have fun. Yeah, so this because like again, I'm not opening anything else. It's just chatting. My computer can actually work this when we're just chatting. So reactive is working as of today. It's a pretty fun thing. It's like the old days, when I actually have reactive working, and it's not like I usually do when I have an image. It's a cool thing. Where was I? Right, the old days. Life is a game of League, as we established earlier. Exactly. Life is a game of League. But what else have I established from DND? DND is a game of improv. It's less storytelling and more improvisation. What I've learned in like I remember that it was Brennan Lee Mulligan that said that, because D&D is less storytelling, more of improv. Storytelling does help you describe the setting, describe the story better, and understand like story beats and like 3-act structure and everything. But from what I learned, D&D is literally just a reactive game. I guess that's why Dimension 20 works so well, because they're just a bunch of improv comedians. Exactly! That is why they work so well, and that is exactly why I had so much expectations going into my first game. I forgot Dimension 20 casts are just a bunch of fucking improv comedians, and the people in my community are not improv comedians. They are just normal people who does normal things. So I was kind of disappointed. I want to subscribe to Dropout. Subscribe to Dropout. I mean, if you have the means to, of course. But as a Dropout subscriber myself, which I actually subscribe to Dropout just because I want to watch Dimension 20. Uh, as a Dropout subscriber myself, you are not going to feel bad for subscribing to Dropout because it's not it's really cool. The channel is really cool. It's got a lot of content. You're not gonna feel like you're robbed of content of your money. It's really cool. Of course, if you have the means to. If you don't, then I'm so sorry. My deepest condolences because I was right there with you who did not have the means to do any of that. But yeah, it's not expensive, but I just don't have the means to pay it. Wait, really? If you pay on YouTube, you can use Indonesian stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, can you pay YouTube subscription with Indonesian stuff? Bayar sub YouTube. I can get it on YouTube? Yeah! You can totally get it on YouTube. Gabung, subscribe, pilih tingkat langganan channel. Okay, yeah, I got it on YouTube because I didn't want to pay in dollars. I wanted to pay in rupiah, so I went on YouTube because in YouTube it's rupiah, right? It's translated into like your currency basically, and I just wanted to. I mean, I have means to pay international. I can use PayPal if I want to, but I don't want to use PayPal, so I use other things. But if I remember correctly, you can use either GoPay or I don't know which one it is. But if I remember, like again, if I remember correctly, I think you can use Indonesian means to pay to pay a subscription on YouTube. Newsflash, you can get it on YouTube. It's yeah. I've been paying it for a month now at least, and yes, you can get it on YouTube. Awesome. Fuck, if I knew that I would have subbed a long time ago. Well, this is now your sign to sub today. It's really cool. I think can you yeah, if I remember correctly you can. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna binge the whole thing in a month. Yeah, it works for me too. That works for me too. Anyway, that was the whole thing. Yeah, that was the whole thing of like me going into my first game having like a really high expectation of like everyone. I completely forgot everyone is not improv comedians. Which is, I mean, like, it's fine. It's fine. Again, I lowered my expectation for normal D&D games. And honestly, if I'm speaking, having a game of like just content creators is also always going to be way more fun than having like an actual home game. Because again, home games are filled with like different kind of people. And let's be real, content creators at this point are basically comedians anyway. And so having a game with like content creators means you're just having a game of comedians. So in a way, again, this is why, yeah, seasoned creators are used to thinking on the spot, at least the live ones. Exactly. Which is like again, like I said, streaming actually taught me how to do public speaking because I have to think of stuff, responses on the spot, and they all would make it hilarious. Yeah, yeah. I think there was this time when one of the community members said that I told them, "Do you follow Legends of Adventures?" No, I did not. I probably should. I probably should. But if I start binge watching more shows, I won't work. I will not edit. So maybe I should. I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll check it out. At least I'll check it out. Oh gosh, I said that, and every time I say that, I'll always binge stuff. Anyway, I think that's like season being a content creator in general, especially the live ones, because you have to think on the spot. Uh, when one of the community members, veterans, I would say, hear that I actually am a streamer, they were like, ah, that's why you're so good at roleplay. And I'm like, I'm good at roleplay? I don't consider myself good at roleplay. But if you think that I'm good at roleplay, then I'm gonna take the the praise? No. Yeah, okay. No, wait. I'm gonna take that as a thing. Well, basically, I'm just gonna be happy with it. More shows, more shows, more shows. They have animated shorts on YouTube. That are hilarious. Yeah, I'll take the compliment. I could not think of the word compliment for that moment. Basically, I'm just gonna take this as a compliment. But yeah, basically that's what they said, because they said that they were like, "You're a newbie. Have you ever played this game before? Because you're good at roleplay." For like a newbie, of course. Like I didn't have like the seasoned player like ideas that can like think on the spot and do funny shit, you know? I'm not like that good yet, because experience as always. But I'm not like the one that goes uh I don't know, like that kind of like role play. I actually managed to like make a conversation happen, you know. So like they were like, "Oh, well, you're a streamer." Ah, that makes sense. What was your first character? My first character was a tabaxi rogue thief. So the first game was first game was something about retrieving a treasure. And basically the whole goal of my character was me, a tabaxi rogue thief who is trying to steal said treasure. I guess that's why I got accepted, because I was trying to steal the treasure. Rogue thief that sulks all the time with dark backstory, trusts no one, etc. I wouldn't say I sulk all the time. I do trust no one. I would say that I'm relatively quiet, and I do. The funny thing is, the what is it called? The quest was in the sea, and because I am a cat folk, I hate the water, and so I decided not to do a lot of things for the most part, and just fucking sleep in the ship. I hate water. And yeah, basically what happened, basically the character was that, yeah, an orphaned tabaxi rogue who is in a criminal organization that is mostly just scandal, like random people with no brain cells that does pranks to the whole community, and then cannot fight but pretends that they can fight because terror to everyone. Marketing is very important, so people are afraid of them, but sounds like a fun time having to deal with your biggest weakness through the campaign. Honestly, yeah. It sounds like really fun, right? Yeah. Honestly though, I did have really a lot of fun playing the character and playing the game. It was my first experience too. It was also probably the DM's first experience DMing. So, a lot of things were not perfect. A lot of things were not perfect. There's a lot of stuttering from the DM. It wasn't like, again, me in my first game, I was slightly disappointed by how things went around, because the DM was not Brennan Lee Mulligan or Matt Mercer or anyone on the content creator DND YouTube thing. It was just a normal person, and I had my expectations way too high. It was my fault. But the moment I lowered my expectation, I did generally have a lot of fun. It was just less water than I expected, so I didn't have to fight off the water too much. If only I managed to fight water It would be so much fun. And actually, now that I think about it, there is an elf druid whose element is water. It would have been really fun. Yeah, everyone has to start off somewhere. Exactly. So like again, when I lowered my expectations, it became incredibly fun. Way more fun than my first game because my first game had way too high of expectations, and the second session I was like, okay, you know what? Lowering expectations. It's a short campaign anyway. It's fine. Lowering expectations became super fun. Just start doing shit everywhere and just like start trolling everyone. It was so much fun. But yeah, there is a druid whose element is water. It could have been really fun. But again, hey, maybe like new stuff, didn't see the potential there. Could have been really, really fun to hate the druid for no reason just because he controls water. Should have done that. But hey, everyone has to start somewhere. And that second session, it was pretty fun though because there was this one point where we had to go into, it was the second or was it the third? No, that was the third session. Yeah, we had to go into like a room where it was like we had to go into a room where there's like this monster and there's a chest, like a treasure that we can go to find either clues or treasure, right? And I because I have dark vision, I can see that, and like it helps the perception and everything, and blah 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 blah, and like basically the end result was that I could stealth it. I could stealth go to the chest and try to get the treasure without the monster knowing. And everyone started chanting rogue, 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 because you know rogues are supposed to be stealthy and like everything, right? And in the end, I think I rolled. I rolled really bad. I like 5 or something. It was like it was like really bad, basically. But I had the lucky feat, which most DMs hate the lucky feat, but I did have that one. That my DM didn't say anything when I had that feat, and I never used it before. And I was like, I had lucky. I could just re-roll, and you know, when I re-rolled, I got a nat 20. So I managed to take the treasure and whatever important things that are needed. For once I thought lucky feat. No, it's a feat. Feat. But lucky feat is really fun. That reel must have been great. It was incredible. Everyone cheered, including myself. I was like, yeah. I was lucky. Lucky feat, actually lucky person. And then basically we got everything perfectly. Dang bro, aventurine level luck. Exactly. Ever since I got aventurine, my luck went up on both Honkai Star Rail and in life. It is actually insane how much luck I got after getting aventurine. Like one of the most obscure things. Sometimes some things that I don't need, I get lucky. Anyway, I did sometimes roll nat ones and everything, but of course, you know, there's a time for lucky, there's a time for not lucky. Aventurine blessed me that day. I was extremely lucky. Basically that happened, and we managed to like not fight one monster until the end of the campaign, because I did that, because the monster didn't know I was there. I want to try DND, but finding a group to play with is hard. Might try the local board game place. Echa. You know what? Maybe one day I'll open a D&D game on my server and we can stream it and you can join if you want. Or maybe we don't need to stream it. We can just do a private game. Anyone who wants to join. Timing will be really hard, but maybe I'll do that on my server. If I already have experience in DMing, maybe I'll do that on my server. Who knows? Congratulations, your streamer is a DM, which means I can open a game whenever I want. So if you want to try D&D, you surely can. Honestly, there's like a lot of online servers too. Actually, I can share I can share the online server I have to you. That sounds great. You're gonna turn into a D&D stream. You know what? Considering how much I am enjoying D&D right now, I might actually do that one day. I might actually stream a D&D game and actually become a part-time D&D streamer one day. But I'm like trying to figure out how to like make content out of it. Like it's basically the niche content that I want to like talk about. That sounds so cool. I know, right? I just like and like I kind of like want to do that because like again if we're talking about it from like a business and branding and marketing standpoint, dabbling in D&D is actually beneficial because D&D is a part of like a partly storytelling, partly improv. It's a part of like storytelling that's like more improvisation than anything else. It's like a group story because both the DM and the players are creating a story. And me, I'll tell you guys a secret now. The whole reason why I made this VTuber like this and my whole character like this and playing a lot of story games is because I want to sell books. So D&D and books can somehow merge together if you do it right. I guess trying to draw my own character would get me off my ass and start drawing. Bro, that might be a good idea. Yeah. Because sometimes, like, you know, when you make tokens, you need, like, face claims and everything. It would probably get your ass off and actually start drawing. That's a cool idea. Also, because I've already made a world for my book. Haha, I've already done some world building for 2 years. For my book, you guys know where this is going, right? The whole thing about D&D preparation is all about world building. You don't need plot. Plot can be improvised whenever you want. The whole thing about D&D is about world building, and I have 2 years worth of backlog for world building, which means book plug. I can just use that world for my book for D&D. You know, I can just do that book. Yeah. Shameless self-promotion. Who cares? Anyway, we need to be confident in our works before anyone else can be confident in ours. So I'm gonna start promoting 2-in-1. Exactly. I have experience in creating plot hooks and like writing. Because, you know, literary devices, they're really, really useful for D&D. Even though you don't require to make plots, you don't have to write a story. Again, D&D is not writing a book. It's a writing plot beats, I would say. It's more about improv than anything. But understanding literary devices like plot beats, Chekhov's gun, dramatic irony, and all that kind of stuff, it's beneficial to playing D&D, and you can have countless stories once you have the setting done. Like Baldur's Gate was basically in one area. Exactly. I can just make stories like about side characters, like side quests that like don't have a place in my book, and I can make them quote unquote canon. You get what I mean? I can do 2 things at once. I can explore the setting and I can make a book. And I don't have to think of character names. All I have to do is to tell my players that you're going to be canon in my book. Then it's mostly like your names will be canon in my book and your personality. The story won't actually be there, probably. It's probably going to be like some like offhand comment about like an NPC or something, but like it's like, you know, a really cool thing to like involve players who play in the game of D&D that I make and also write a book about it. I don't know how if it will work out or not, but hey, you know, it's an idea. It could happen. And yeah, and like stuff that I can't write, like, you know, stuff that I cannot write about, stuff that are like just too short or like not like it's I would say it's like it's too short, too much, too like it's not good enough to write into a book. Basically, it doesn't have as much goals or like too much writing a book requires a lot of things to think about, and like it's just not good enough to be a book. You can make it into a D&D campaign. You can't know till you try it. Exactly. You'll never know. It might be fun. Some players might not like their characters being in a book, because it's their character, but some other people might like it. And you can just go and ask the person. The problem with that is just that it gets kind of convoluted with like canon stuff, and I guess that's on me as a DM to like control that. But hey, if things go to a really bad thing, I can always just make another world. Be right back. Gonna make a generic human fighter with a sword and shield. Exactly. Whose name is like Bob. Bob is a human fighter with an ancestor's sword and a shield gifted by Medusa. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, like, again, as a writer who makes fantasy worlds already, if worst comes to worst, I can just make a new world and say that whatever campaign I make in whatever world is not canon and has nothing to do with my books. Like that's just it, right? People can have fun without having to do canon and weird stuff. Yeah. It's on me as a DM to control that, and me as a writer. It's an alternate timeline, multiverse it. Exactly. It's a what if. Marvel, what if? What if this one character is a loser in this campaign? That way you have a reason to have a crossover. Exactly. Wait, that's actually pretty... I'm gonna write that down. Because time is actually integral part of my one of the magic system. So multiverse, T-verse, DND, Ushia, whatever. So crossover fun. I would totally understand what that means in like a month. You would not understand what I'm expecting royalty SMH. I'll pay you in VIP. Faye lore going real deep right now. I will pay you guys in VIP, which means $0. Just kidding. But yeah. Basically, it's the idea of like just being really fun. I also have like a setting, a cyberpunk setting. Sounds like a good enough deal. If it actually happens, I probably might do it. Yeah, so like I have like a cyberpunk setting that I could totally just use, that I'm working on right now. The premise, so like Ushea is like an actual fantasy but kind of modern world that is inspired by like real world cultures that you totally do not understand. I mean, it's totally not obvious that Xiangguang is based off some other country. It doesn't sound Chinese at all, right? Like Kikohama doesn't sound like another East Asian country, right? It's so not obvious what that's about. It's also so not obvious that Krakatau is like a mountain in some random country, right? It's so not obvious what the real world inspirations are. Basically, I have basically Ushea is like a fantastical world that is like a lot of things, and like a combination of like a lot of ideas that I had throughout the year and trying to like make everything cohesive. This other cyberpunk world is basically where the world has gone into ruins, and no plants live anymore, but this one city managed to build a place where you can literally see the blue sky, because the sky is red everywhere, because atmosphere, weird stuff, and the technology managed to make you be able to see the sky. However, the city has a really deep secret, really deep not so secret, where the people under the power supply don't actually get to see the sky and are really poor. Cyberpunk. Anyway, the dystopian utopia stuff. Just stuff that I really like talking about. This town of koito, where everyone wear yukata and have curved single-edged sword, is totally original, not inspired by anything. Totally. Totally original. Where everyone learns how to use a two-handed sword that is slightly curved and uses a very specific metal, and it's really good for slashing. And its art stems down from generation to generation, in families to families, and has multiple different styles, and they are called samurai. Totally original, not inspired by anything. I love that. It's totally not obvious where I took the inspirations from, right? Literally not, literally so obvious that, so not obvious where the name freaking Kikohama comes from. They actually have a freaking school of culture and martial arts. It's totally not obvious where I took inspirations from. Honestly, it is mostly like loosely inspired by the cultures of said country. It's not necessarily based on that, because I just want to take the fun stuff and not have to do, and not take the not fun stuff. Well, I mean, not necessarily that. It's like tidbits of like fun stuff, basically. It's not necessarily a whole deep dive on everything. I think the only, because like most of the countries are like just a mash of like multiple different cultures in the whole world. Like, yeah, sure, Kikohama is based off Japanese culture, but like there's also like another thing in their country that is like not based on Japanese culture. It's like mash of different things, because again, fantasy world, I can totally do everything about it. Disclaimer, it's not based on, it is inspired by, so loosely inspired, if anything. So the names can mean literally nothing. Do it like Avatar. Which Avatar? The blue one or the actual good one? The blue one or the actual good one? I think there's only going to be one place that is going to be like heavily and almost exactly like the actual culture. The bald dude. Honestly, the Avatar is like pretty cool. It is pretty cool though. It is like you can literally see the inspirations behind it, but it's not bad because it's really cool. Yeah, that is true. Avatar is, because again, Avatar is story first than anything else. So like the secret to making good like inspiration based on or inspired by stories is literally just make good stories. Stories first, everything else can inspire the story. But if you make a really bad story, all the wrong cultural references become so jarring, and it's really bad. Like Mulan, the live action and the cartoon, the animated one. Most of everyone says that the animated one is really good, but if you actually and like the live action one is really bad, but if you actually take a good look at it, the real Mulan, the animated one, also have not they are not like exactly the same as the cultures they are referencing. Like the one that I remember exactly is the chopstick on top of the rice. So like when you put chopsticks, you cannot put it like standing on top of a rice. Yeah, not accurate. Exactly. What is up in my brain and my referencing English words today? I don't know. Also the hair cutting, exactly. Like what's it called, the rice thing, and like you put chopstick because it looks like the dead people thing, which in the Chinese rituals, when you're giving offerings to dead people, the chopsticks are like ditusuk. What is ditusuk? It's pierced on top of the rice, so it looks like it's dead. So like again, it's not accurate to the actual cultures they are referencing, but because it is story first, people are like, okay. You know what I mean? And Mulan isn't even like loosely based off. It's like not an original world that they are like creating. It's literally China. So And like also the what is it, the other people, Kung Fu Panda 2, exactly, they're referencing China. It's not accurate, but because the story is good, people look past that and be like, I mean, it's not accurate, it's fine though, the story's good. It's like Avatar 2, like it's like the Legend of the Airbender, like Atla. It's like it's not great. Like again, maybe I can't like exact. I don't know exactly the. I don't remember exactly which references are not accurate, but um, again, like if you're doing it, if it's story first, everything's cool, man. You don't. It's fine. I wouldn't say it's fine. If you like atrociously mess it up, then hell yeah, you're not doing things correctly. However, if it's like minor things that is like really like not accurate, then people can look past it. Raya has weird story and setting. It did not work. Exactly, it did not work. See, everything is story first. We gotta remember that everything is story first. If you make a good story, a lot of things will be excused. I wouldn't say. People will look past that. Because again, it's a fantasy. It's just a story. It will never be 100% accurate. Because you're making sure the story comes first. Speaking of like inspirations and based on stuff, I think, like I said, everything will be in Ushea, which is my world, the world that I'm currently making and writing off of. What I'm most of the worlds are going to be like loosely inspired and like loosely based on some sort of cultures in this world that I literally did not make too deep of a research to do, at least as of the moment. I'll keep on making researches as I go, but I think there will only be one single country that is going to be a quote unquote representation of what the actual culture is, but with fantastical elements, and that is because that country is going to be based on Indonesia. The stream is still going. I'm a professional yapper. I'm a professional yapper who can literally yap for 3 hours without stopping, and it's still going. Anyway, welcome back. So yeah, so it's going to be based off of Indonesia, and the reason for that is because I just want to make a book based off of Indonesia. Fairly graduated from Yapversity with a yapology. With the degree on yapper rhythm. I have a degree. I have like a master's degree on yapperism. I literally graduated from University of Yapperity with a yapology and a master's degree on yapperism. Literally 3 hours. I was planning on stopping the stream at 3 hours, but it turns out the yapping is still going. So yeah, so I'm currently making that country. The country will be based off of the Krakatau explosion and all the volcanoes in Indonesia, which is a really cool thing. Have you ever thought of making a presentation stream? Now we yap away. That was gonna be my what is it called, my answer. I have thought of making a presentation stream, but then see, the thing is, I go on tangents all the time. In the middle of going to say a topic, I go on tangents, and so I'm afraid that if I make a presentation stream, I will go out of topic and I don't have the slides for it, and I'm scared for that. So it's better to not have a slide. But maybe one day I will make a presentation on what Ushea is, or at least just making a presentation on basically whatever it is. Because, but like when I make a presentation stream, I need to have a topic in mind. And I like to improvise my topic. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, the idea of making the server have a D&D game once, it could be really cool. I'll write that down and have like only ads stream. Cool. We can add that. Maybe one day we'll make an only ad stream with me presenting something about D&D or something along those lines. Who knows? What is it called? D&D server play game, or no game. D&D in server game, whatever. So yeah, if you want to try it out, maybe one day I'll make that game in the server and we can play online, and I'll help you guys, help you whoever wants to try D&D to do things, and maybe one day I'll actually stream a game. So am I going to do this until 3:20, 3:30, or am I going to stop here? It's 3:17 right now. I'm kind of obsessed with like having everything be exactly the same, like exactly in time. And my stomach is acting up again. Be exactly in time. But also I'm out of things. I think going on tangents is fine. Presentation I usually for inspiration. Probably, yeah. Maybe I'll make slides for tomorrow. Tomorrow, actually maybe tomorrow I'm gonna play something. I don't know. I don't know. You know the thing, in this week I'm like I want to play Outer Wilds, and then for the 2 other days I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm going to do on the 2 other streams. I might rant about D&D again tomorrow and just like talk about books and be a nerd. Just rant. Maybe I'll make a presentation on like what. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make a presentation on something. Who knows? It's still gonna. It's like 24 hours until next stream. I have time to think about it. I'll find a way to get something. I think the best part of the stream is the fact that League is lesson in life, and that out of context is insane to hear. Because what the heck, League is a lesson of life. Anyway, 3:19. I think that's a pretty good number to stop on. Oh wait, right. I do have a question that I want everyone to think about. So if hypothetically I make a karaoke stream, what song do you want me to sing? Because you know, hypothetically, of course, I don't know what to sing. So like again, hypothetically, if I'm gonna do that, I don't know what to sing. I do one day, probably, hypothetically, gonna make a karaoke stream. Really? Really? If I make a karaoke stream, you better tune in, Itcha. Because I might, you never know, I might actually sing that. Definitely, okay. Bolo bolo. Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to learn that. I know the song, like I don't remember the song on top of my head, but I definitely know that. It's just I think it's would listen to whatever you sing. See, that's great, but also annoying. I have no idea since I don't listen to much music, so I would be surprised nonetheless. See, that's would listen to whatever you sing. Honestly, see, that's really kind, but also really frustrating because I don't know what to fucking sing. The reason why I'm asking everyone is because I don't know. So yeah, maybe I'll find something. Maybe I'll sing some random K-pop shenanigans and have fun. English and Indonesian. Korean is also fine, honestly. Any language, as long as I can learn it. I don't know. Anything. Yeah, maybe, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you know, like I said, like again, I want to do this. All right, hot summer it is. Hot summer. Okay. Okay, I'll write everything down. And maybe I won't sing that. Maybe I will. Who knows? Because, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say this until everyone remembers it. So, wait, don't forget the tank. Don't forget the tank. Am I not getting the joke or something? Is my brain cell stopping? Am I yapping too much? Am I like, is my brain not functioning today? Right? What? The tank? What? Why should I forget the tank? What? What the heck? Okay. Is my what did I say? Um. Okay. Let me drink. Hot Summer has a tank in the music video. Oh, I get it now. Okay. Okay. Right. My bad for not getting the joke because I don't watch the Hot Summer music video and I have no idea about that. Right. I'm gonna say this again so that everyone remember it and then everyone will come and join the stream in like about 1.5 months in September 7th in what? It's September 7th is my birthday and I'm gonna stream that day, so y'all better come. If you don't come, I'm gonna haunt you in your dreams. What about stuff from KDH? What the fuck is KDH? My recommendation is just anime openings, so maybe I can actually do an anime opening. Shinso Sasageo was pretty cool. KDH. What the fuck? KDH adalah singkatan dari koefisien dasar hijau. K-pop demon. Oh! Searched Google and literally went, KDH adalah singkatan dari koefisien dasar hijau. And I'm like, what the heck is koefisien dasar hijau? Okay, maybe I'll get. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, maybe I'll do something from K-pop Demon Heart. There's no koefisien dasar hijau. Actually, honestly, what exactly is this? Angka persentase yang menunjukkan luas area hijau seperti taman atau ruang terbuka hijau dibandingkan dengan luas total lahan dalam satu kawasan atau proyek pembangunan. Oh, it's how much plants are in a building. I see. Lucky cabang because we know that Faye has cabang all over the place. You're kidding me. Whatever. She's got the Riz. Well, I mean, if you think that I do have the Riz, I'll take that as a compliment. I'll just take that as a compliment. Yeah. I'll probably check out K-pop Demon Hunters, not Coefficient Dasar Hijau, because that's not an actual song. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, September 7th is my birthday and y'all better come or I will haunt you in your walls until you come. If you don't come, then how dare you? Have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters? No. No, I don't. No, I have not. No, not my balls. I said walls. Oh wow, Musume opening was Wait, you're right. The Uma Musume songs are really cool though. Maybe I'll sing Make Debut or something along those lines. Just choose one of the songs that I like and just sing it. The songs are the Uma Musume songs goes really hard. You should watch it. It's fun. It's a fun watch. I definitely should. But the problem with the series is that I have to binge watch a series, or I would not finish the damn series until the end of the time. Do you know how long it took me to watch Arcane season 2? It took me a month to finish freaking Arcane season 2. It's a movie. Oh, it's a movie. It's a movie, so you can go through it in one scene. Yeah, I didn't know it was a movie. I thought it was a series. Exactly, Faye would be an idol. Yeah, the anime is fine. The movie is great. Okay, cool. I'll watch the movie, and maybe I'll do my review of K-pop Demon Hunters next stream. Probably. I don't know. I don't think I've seen you do raids before. I have once in a while. Most of the time, I just don't know who to raid. Most of the time, I just don't know who to raid. Sometimes there was like once or twice that I've done. I don't know who to raid mostly, so it's like yeah. And I'm just shy. If you can I recommend? If you do, can I recommend someone? Sure, of course, you can recommend someone. You can totally recommend someone to me because I don't know who to raid mostly. It's a me problem, not a rating problem. It's fine. It's yeah. It's just mostly I just don't know who to rate. Sinarin. Oh, sin. Yeah, practice. Faye, we do it. She's a fun stream hallucination, but does mostly English. It's Sinarin. Oh, is it this one? Wait, let me just stream it on. My computer would refuse to work. Let me close Viado then, so that this would work. It's gonna be a black screen for a while, guys. Hold on. I'm going to open my browser, which is probably going to make my computer hate me. Are they? Oh my gosh, there's like a lot of tabs. I almost said thabs. There's like a lot of tabs. What the heck am I doing with my life? Why are there like 3 million tabs in my browser? What am I doing? Why is there two? I have never realized this. And this is from just yesterday, by the way. I am totally normal. It's fine. The reactive is gone. Rip. It's fine. My computer hates me. Let me get that working. Streaming that thing. Mac OS screen capture. Oh my gosh. Someone's talking on here. Browse. Shut up. Twitch was wondering how many of me there were. 30 million probably. I don't know. It's like a lot of things. Discard. All categories. Okay. There we go. Twitch. Now you can. Oh. Why is it so fucking big? That's what she said. This is the end of the freaking stream, and I'm still making a "that's what she said" joke. It's okay, guys. Your streamer's fine. What am I even saying? Oh, there we go. That can happen. There we go. What is it? Is it this one? This girl, this person? Bye. Right? If I'm not mistaken? Okay. Yes, that one. Okay. Now, let's go back here so that you don't see it. Never heard anyone say that to me before. Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're gonna end the stream. Reactive is gone, so we can turn that off and we can turn you on. This normal image of me. So, how do I do a raid on here? Let's not use my computer for this because my computer hates it. How do I do this on here? Wait, let me figure this out. If I'm gonna do this on this one or on that one. Want to say anything for the raid? Ending stream? Yes, almost. We're gonna do a raid, and I'm gonna be so confused. Because not necessarily because I don't know what to say, mostly because I don't know the settings well enough. Want to say, what should we say? What should I say? Blah, blah, blah. What emotes are around here that we can use that is like free for everyone? I don't remember which emotes are free. Just saying raid on the name would work in chat, I believe. Wait, it does? It does? Wait, it does? Fish school coming through? The baby's first raid? Second! I did a raid once before or twice. I don't remember how many times I did it, but I did it at some point. Fish school coming through. That's a cool idea. I don't have a fish emote. I'll make that someday. Maybe a birthday stream, I'll make the fish emote thing. Yeah, fish school coming through. That's a cool idea. Okay, raid. Uh, actually, no, let me do this. Let me do this. Okay. Yeah, fish school coming through and the emote of your choice. Fish school is amazing. Yeah, it's pretty cute. Actually, it's pretty cool. That's such a cool idea. That is amazing. Okay. Why am I nervous? Why am I nervous? It's just a raid. I've done this like twice before. Why is it so scary? It's not scary. It's more like jittery. It's not. I'm not nervous. I'm fine. Let me drink. Okay. Wait. Let me open this so that at least I can say something in the chat so that I'm not stupid. Let me copy. I'm gonna raid you with my army. Please don't. I'd be scared. Please don't. I'd be scared. I'd be scared. Well, actually, I'm fine if people raid me. Usually they'll ask you to intro yourself. Just get ready. I have an intro for raiders, which is usually scuffed, but it's fine. We all love the scuff. Okay. I'm gonna hit raid. I'm gonna start raid. Something simple, something fun. Yeah, the fun part is that people call me Fish, and it's not actually Fish. I love that people call me Fish. Anyway, I'm gonna start the raid. I'll end the stream after this. Yeah, we are ready. Okay, let's go. The target's channel's raid setting does not allow you to raid at this time. That is awkward. The target channel's raid setting. There's a timer for it. Should we just wait or something? Hold on, class. Yeah, we're gonna have to hold on for like a bit. Like, why is there an ad now? IDK. I don't know why there's an ad now. Did they just experience a raid? Okay, the hype died. Oh no. Okay, we're wait. All right, I'm good now. Okay, let's see now. Do I? Okay, let's see. If I raid right now, is it still on cooldown? How many minutes is the cooldown? I don't know how many. Take a breath. Okay, I'll take a breath. You know that when people say, take a deep breath. I'm totally taking a deep breath. Okay, do we start now? Is there still on cooldown? Is it still on cooldown? I don't know if it's still on cooldown. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Okay. Do I... What? This is really awkward. It's fine. It's fine, Faye. You start the raid. It's still on cooldown. Fuck. Maybe we do it next time. Maybe I should stalk their channel for a little bit. Did they just get raided or something? It's just a raid. Just try again. Yeah, it's still on cooldown, I think. Let me check. Oh, fuck. Well, do we try it next time? Or do we try it now? Because I do want to finish the stream soon. Really soon. I need to go. Is there anyone else you guys want me to raid? Well, there's another streamer called Big Papa Lemon. Also add, yeah, 1 minute and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds. I'll wait for the ad. I'll wait for the ad. Big Papa Lemon. Okay. That name is insane, though, to be completely honest. It's pretty insane. Oh wow, what the fuck? What the heck? Why does the ad take so long? It's like it's not supposed to be this long. Is it done? Is the ad done? Are we done? No. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I like to do the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, that's a burp. Honestly, that name is insane. Big Papa Lemon. I mean, I saw the stream. It literally is a big lemon. So yay. Subscribe for 6 months. Long. Yeah, I have subscribed for 6 months to myself because that's the amount of times I got affiliate. Okay. Big Papa Lemon. Okay, let's do a raid. That is a wild name. He's a big lemon. I saw that he's literally a big lemon. Let's do that raid. Fish, what is it? Fish school is coming your way or something along those lines. Where is that? Fish school coming through. That's a cool name. Big Papa Lemon. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? I'm gonna start the raid right now. Don't call him Lemon on a stick. What do we call him? Big Papa? That's insane. Yep. Fish school coming through. Just call him Lemon. Okay. Why can't I paste here? Whatever. You know what? Let's start. Everyone ready? I'm gonna end stream now. Goodbye, everyone. Let's go to the raid. I mean, I credited them. I did, but I mean,